Hello and welcome into Leesburg Lightning Baseball alongside my partner Adrian Delgado. Vic Maslier here at Pat Thomas Stadium, Buddy Lowe Field for a makeup game between the DeLand Suns and the Leesburg Lightning. This game started back on July 4th. We got through 3 pitches before the lightning horn sounded once again and rained us out. So we get to make up one of the 2 games. The second game was in DeLand. We most likely won't be making that up. The Lightning have 6 games in a row. They're actually in their 4th of 6 games straight, going back to Thursday against the Diamond Dogs. The Lightning come into this game 17-11. They just won the series versus the Diamond Dogs after getting shut out 5-0 on Thursday. The Lightning returned the favor, beating the Diamond Dogs 8-0 in a shutout victory on Friday here at Pat Thomas Stadium. We saw a marvelous outing from Brian Bertolf, who tossed 5 innings of shutout baseball, giving up just 2 hits, 1 walk, and striking out 5 batters. Last night, another dominant game for the Lightning. They won it 7-1 against the Diamond Dogs. We saw another good pitching performance, and it was 1 inning for each pitcher except for Carson Hendrickson, who threw 2, giving up just 1 hit, 2 walks, and 1 strikeout. Saw Lucas Perez throw an inning and strike out the side with a hit batter mixed in between. For the bats, it was a great night for Eli Thurman, 3 for 3, and even better night for Cole Bolin, 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. So this will be the 6th meeting between the DeLand Suns and the Leesburg Lightning. Currently, the Lightning 4-1 against the Suns. Adrian, it's good to have you back in here. Your thoughts looking forward to this game?
Yeah, it's good to be here. And, I mean, the Suns are riding a high right now. They had a run rule victory over the Winter Garden Squeeze last night, an absolute offensive explosion, 10 runs off of 16 hits. So I'm going to be looking for more of the same today. You have Logan Wirt on the mound, who's been a super solid guy for the DeLand Suns. 4.57 ERA. This is going to be his 5th start of the season. 22 strikeouts, 10 walks, and 16 hits. But again, they played phenomenal baseball last night. They really limited those errors as well. And so really hoping they ride the momentum here in Leesburg. And I know that momentum from their last visit to Leesburg has kind of faltered away, but they still have that win over their heads and looking for another one today.
And we'll go ahead and give you the starting lineups first. Adrian will give you the Suns, and I'll follow with the Lightning lineup.
Yeah, so leading things off for the Suns, it's going to be Michael O'Brien. And again, the 4th of July game was suspended, so he's going to inherit a 1-2 count. Right after him is going to be Gavin Thomas. Batting third will be Eli Tidwell. In the 4-hole batting cleanup is going to be Shane Thomas. Batting 5th will be Eris Rivera. Batting 6th is Holden Bronner. 7th is Osman Melendez. Batting 8th is Kevin Brunette. Batting 9th will be Cade Centracchio. And in the 10-hole is Connor O'Sullivan.
And now for the Leesburg Lightning, they'll lead it off with their usual leadoff man. It'll be Eli Thurman playing in center field, followed by Ryan Jenkins at short. Marco Moises will bat in the 3-hole and be the extra hitter, followed by Reed Snyder, who is in for Juan Orozco. Originally was in this game on July 4th, but he is out. Reed Snyder is in, playing at third base in the cleanup spot. Charlie Keller will bat 5th and play in right. Cole Bolin will hit 6th and be the extra hitter. The first baseman, James Strom, will bat 7th, followed by Julian Irizarry in the 8-hole, playing in left field. Ledger Pleasant will bat 9th and play at second base. And rounding out the order, the 10-hole batter, Trey Kraft, will be behind home plate. Catching up, the starting pitcher for the Lightning, Tanner Walker, who will face the DeLand Suns. So far on the year, Tanner Walker, a 6.17 ERA. He's 0-1 in 7 appearances. 4 of them have been starts, 11 2/3 innings pitched, 14 hits given up, 8 earned runs, 9 walks, and 10 strikeouts. He was the original pitcher set to go on July 4th, tossed 3 pitches, and we're in a 1-2 count. The batter is Michael O'Brien, the center fielder, and that is where we will resume for tonight's ball game. So an unusual Sunday baseball game for the Lightning. Still a good crowd here at Pat Thomas Stadium, though.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Pat Thomas, it's always a fun time to come visit. Crowd always gets into it, and that's what Coach Cameron Jurgens is hoping, is that he silences that crowd today. They silenced it not the last time they were in Leesburg, but the last time we played a full game in Leesburg. And Coach Cameron Jurgens said that it's always a close game between the Suns and the Lightning. As we saw it was all 3 walk-off wins here at Leesburg before that, and 2 walk-off wins before that initial loss here. So I think the big thing for the DeLand Suns today is just to shut down that Leesburg offense, just prevent them from getting on base, because if they get on, they're going to run all over the Suns, and then the Suns are prone to make mistakes with throwing errors.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of mistakes defensively for the Suns against this Lightning team, especially Osman Melendez at second base. His throwing error in the first game at home against the Suns led to the walk-off victory. The Lightning had James Strom at the dish, a ground ball to Melendez, and he airmailed it over the first baseman's head, which allowed Ryan Jenkins to score. But we've seen a couple of games where 3 or 4 errors committed by the defense, and Melendez has had a couple of those. So, of course, the Suns looking for a little bit better of a defensive game for themselves, and going to have to face off against a tough pitching staff that has looked really good the past couple of days. On Friday, we had the shutout victory. Brian Bertolf pitched those 5 innings. And then yesterday, it was another great pitching performance where the Lightning gave up just the 1 earned run. That was James Hill, who struggled in his inning in relief, but he would have 2 on with nobody out, both in scoring position, would get the sacrifice fly and then retire the next couple of batters to end the inning, just surrendering the 1 run. So that was a good sign, being able to navigate out of some trouble, and the bats just looked phenomenal. Cole Bullen with a couple hits and a couple RBIs. Eli Thurman had a 3-hit night. Charlie Keller had a couple hits and 2 runs scored, and all around the Lightning took advantage of the Diamond Dogs' mistakes, but also were able to score runs on their own accord, which is something that is super important for this team that has struggled with getting runners in. They don't struggle getting them on and getting them around, and I was actually just looking at some stats in terms of advancing runners. There's only 1 batter out of all of the batters that is hitting under 300 in terms of advancing runners on the base pass. Everyone else is 400 and above, except TJ Sokoros, who's just under 400. But these numbers are ridiculous. The Lightning, no problem with advancing runners. It's just getting them in, which has been a little bit of an issue. But as of late, they've done a good job of that. They put up a 6th spot in the 6th inning last night. And, yeah, I was a little bit late, but in a 7-inning game, the Lightning will take it, and we're able to take that 7-inning victory as they are getting announced onto the field right now. And I'll mention again, it is a makeup game from the 4th of July, so not the biggest crowd here at Pat Thomas Stadium. It's a little interesting to see it not as packed, but of course when you have Friday games almost every week, you're usually going to see more fans pour into the ballpark.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm excited. We should be in store for some good baseball today. Pretty similar lineups to what we were going to see on 4th of July. But one thing I am worried about, Vic, is that yesterday I did talk about the offensive explosion for the Suns. A lot of those guys are missing out of the lineup today. And you have guys like Gavin Thomas, Eli Tidwell, and Shane Thomas, who've been swinging a great bat, don't get me wrong, but in recent history they've been striking out a lot. They were benched for a couple of games during the series against Winter Garden, so we'll see how they fare against Leesburg. But those guys put up pretty solid numbers in the victory against Leesburg, and really just hoping they can ride on the momentum of their teammates into this one.
There are 2 changes in the lineup for the Suns. Eris Rivera is in for William Rawlings. He will be the catcher. And then it's Cade Centracchio. He is in for Judson Sionis. Centracchio will play at third base. Kevin Brunette will move from third to first base. So those are the changes. And, of course, Paul Janesco on the mound instead of Logan Wirt. But we will see him in the bottom half of the inning. We'll step aside for the national anthem. But when we come back, I don't believe there's a national anthem. I just got confirmation on that. So usually we'd step aside, but since today's a makeup game, things a little bit different. There's no first pitch being thrown out by someone in the community, and there's no national anthem. But Adrian, if you want to serenade us with a national anthem, I've heard you've got a great voice.
Oh, did you? Did you know? You heard through the grapevine? I mean, I was a theater kid in high school, but I do believe that everyone should keep their eardrums today, so I will refrain from doing so.
I guess a thank you in advance for that. And hey, I wasn't a theater kid, but I was an improv kid, and it's definitely helped me out a little bit on the broadcast. And I think that you being in theater helped you out too. Be a little quick on your feet as well.
Oh, 100%. And then sometimes I'll say something, and I was like, did I just say that? Not that it was bad or anything, but just how it just clicked in my head right now. So yeah, I mean, those skills are coming to light here this summer. That's a fun little fun fact. I did improv too in high school.
Yeah, it's great. It's good to be quick on your feet, especially up here. And going back to the game, Tanner Walker out on the hill right now. His last time out was July 5th, so the day after he threw just 3 pitches on 4th of July, and then we got rained out, or I should say lightninged out. But on July 5th, just tossed an inning, no hits, no runs, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. So he struck out the side in his lone inning of work, and that ball was just sent down to second base. We're just about to get underway here. Michael O'Brien steps up to the plate. Once again, a reminder to everyone at home, we are in a 1-ball, 2-strike count with Michael O'Brien at the dish. That is where we last left off on July 4th. And it looks like Janesco's getting some warm-up tosses in the bullpen as he will make his appearance in the bottom half of the inning, and hopefully it'll be a scoreless game going into the bottom half of the first. But first, Tanner Walker has to do his job here. He looks in, gets his sign from Trey Kraft, comes set at the belt. O'Brien awaiting. The 1-2 pitch is a cold strike 3. Have a seat. And we are underway at Pat Thomas Stadium, starting with a 1-pitch strikeout, at least for today. Of course, it is a 4-pitch strikeout dating back to July 4th. So that took a long time to get that strikeout. Almost 10 days to get that strikeout for Tanner Walker, but well-deserved. And that'll bring up Gavin Thomas with 1 down. And, boy, that's got to be tough for O'Brien coming to the game facing a 1-2 count.
Yeah, 100%. And, I mean, when you're coming up, you're taught, hey, just look at that first pitch most of the time. So
right.
Michael O'Brien stepped to the plate with that mentality and maybe forgot that he had 2 strikes on him. That count also kind of took me back. I played some slow-pitch softball a couple of years ago, and you know how they merge the counts, or they cut the counts. So I believe it's 3 pitches for a walk and then 2 strikes for a strikeout, so that's what it kind of reminded me. But here's Gavin Thomas. Thomas absolutely lit up the scoreboard in the last game against the Leesburg Lightning. 2 home runs, the game tying in the 8th and the game winner in the 10th.
Next offering, he swords him and gets a swinging strike.
Gavin Thomas, last time he played was on Thursday. Had a not-so-pretty day with 4 strikeouts in that one against Winter Garden.
Faces a 2-1 count from Tanner Walker, working out of the stretch. Next delivery misses low and away. Tanner Walker sporting a 179 average against him with runners on the base pass. Of course, no one on here right now. 3-1, fouled back. So batter's just 5 for 28 with runners on with Tanner Walker on the hill. And versus righties, batters are just batting .267, so pretty good, but not as good as how lefties have hit against him, 6 for 19. Full count pitch on the way to Gavin Thomas. Tanner Walker, he will deal. Gets a soft tapper that goes foul.
Yeah, it's good to see Gavin Thomas work a full count against Walker. He's really been struggling and falls behind easily in, 0-2, 1-2 count. So good on him to at least battle here into that pitch count and give Walker a not so easy out or potentially reach base.
Walker will try again with a payoff pitch to Suns left fielder. Gets a ground ball. Snyder has it on a couple of hops. The peg to first is in time, 2 down.
Yeah, a solid piece of contact by Thomas there. Unfortunately, just hit right towards Snyder for out number 2.
And setting the defense now for the Lightning at first. James Strom. Second is Ledger Pleasant. At short, Ryan Jenkins. And Reed Snyder over there at third just made that last play. Irizarry is in left. Eli Thurman in center. And Charlie Keller in right field. In the battery for tonight, Trey Kraft catching up Tanner Clark, who's got 2 down, with Eli Tidwell, the extra hitter, at the dish. First pitch he sees is a cold strike. Slight breeze blowing right to left, or maybe straight out to center field. Can't really tell. But nothing that will impact the baseball too much.
Tidwell did play in yesterday's win, didn't start the game, but came in as a pinch hitter for Michael O'Brien. Ended up going 1 for 2 on the day. No RBIs or runs scored, but 1 for 2 days. Still pretty solid, especially coming off the bench.
Walker taking his time on the hill. Now he delivers, and that one's upstairs, 2-1 count. His second to last time out was on July 2nd. Pitched an inning and a third, gave up 1 hit, no runs, walked a batter, and struck out 1. That was a touch-up game out of the bullpen before his supposed-to-be start on July 4th. 2-1, that's a called strike. Nice breaking ball by Tanner Walker. Floated perfectly into the zone.
It looked like a curveball from up here. Just a little 12-6 action right there. Just float in there for strike.
Breeze has picked up a little bit, blowing right to left field. Deuce's wild pitch. Just a bit off the plate. Tanner Walker wanted it. Took a couple steps towards the dugout, but he will face another full count pitch, this time to Eli Tidwell. Quiet Pat Thomas Stadium, allowing Tanner Walker to work. Try to get through this first inning. The righty ready. He deals. Check swing. It's into the glove of Trey Kraft after it was foul tipped by Eli Tidwell. And Tanner Walker sits down the Suns 1-2-3, gets a couple of strikeouts, sends us to the bottom of the first inning. Nothing doing for the Suns and the Lightning coming up when we come back. Bottom of the first inning, still scoreless here in Leesburg. Pitcher on the mound is Paul Janesco. It was supposed to be Logan Wirt back on July 4th, but it'll be Janesco, who has faced the Lightning before. And here to tell you all about him, Adrian Delgado.
Yeah, Paul Janesco has just been absolutely lights out on the mound. Started the season as a high-end, high-leverage reliever coming out of the pen, but now has earned his marks as a starter. And again, absolutely phenomenal. This is going to be his fourth start of the summer. 2.95 ERA, 21 strikeouts, and 24.1 innings pitched. It's absolutely phenomenal. Was also named to the All-Star team as well. Pitched in that game, pitched a perfect inning, struck out one. Also, a very vocal guy out there on the mound. I don't know if our mics will be able to pick it up, but when that guy pitches, he is not afraid to let out a little yell or something, and it always catches me off guard, but he's just such a competitor out there and such a great guy to watch.
First batter he faces is Eli Thurman. He's quickly ahead, 0-2. First and only time Janesco has faced the Lightning was back on June 12th. Went 5 innings, gave up just 2 earned runs off 2 base hits, walked 2 batters, and struck out 2. A lot of 2s in that game, 0-2, and there's that grunt. You can hear it from up here, but I don't know if everyone will be able to hear it back home. June 12th ended up being a walk-off victory for the Lightning, so despite Janesco's good start, Lightning were able to pick up that 3-2 victory. 1-2, ground ball up the middle. Great stop by O'Sullivan. Gets to his feet, fires to first. It's not in time.
Great attempt by O'Sullivan there, but unfortunately just 2 out of reach. O'Sullivan wasn't really able to probably gather himself and give himself a proper throw on over to first. So good base hit by the leadoff man right there.
O'Sullivan did everything he could. Actually fired a pretty good ball over to Kevin Brunette, but it took him off the bag just a little bit. And I mean pretty good in terms of how difficult of a play that would have been for O'Sullivan. So the Lightning get their leadoff man aboard. And it's so crucial. It was so crucial for Tanner Walker to get through that first inning unscathed. The Lightning have given up a total of 33 first inning runs, 13 more than any other inning. Ryan Jenkins, the batter, he takes a called strike. 20 runs given up in the 5th inning is the second most, but yeah, 33 in the first, and that has been the struggle for this pitching staff, is just to find starting pitching that is able to get through more than 3 innings, and Berthoff gave them just that back on Friday here at Pat Thomas. Jenkins last night, 1 for 3 with a run scored. He also walked. We'll check back over to first. Thurman in there safely. Scout Updike tossed a scoreless first inning in last night's ball game. Thurman goes. The pitch swung on and missed. The throw down is way wide of Melendez and kicks into the outfield. So it'll be a stolen bag for Eli Thurman.
Yeah, it seemed like Eris Rivera had a chance. He had a good jump on it, but I mean, just sent it wide right. No chance for Osmond Melendez to bring it down in time.
Thurman now 13 for 14 in terms of stolen bases. But a 1-2 count on a Jenkins as he swung through that to protect Eli Thurman. A great job, and that very well could have disrupted Rivera throwing a strike down to second base. So runner in scoring position, nobody down. 1-2 offering. Poked into left field. That's down for a base hit. Thurman going to get the green light. Here's the throw from Gavin Thomas. It is not in time. Thurman scores. Jenkins heads into second base. The Lightning strike first. It's 1-0.
Yeah, good heads-up baseball by Jenkins as well. Advanced to second on the throw, and there was some miscommunication as Thurman ran into Rivera, so he was unable to get the ball. Ball rolled all the way to the backstop, forced to be fielded by Paul Janesco, allowing Jenkins to easily nab second base. So first run comes across, RBI single for Ryan Jenkins, and now he's in scoring position for Marco Moises, who's just been a dangerous hitter, especially against these DeLand Suns.
So that stolen bag helped as Jenkins was able to knock in Thurman. And a little collision almost at home plate. It seemed like Rivera was kind of blocking the plate, and Thurman almost did run right into him. Luckily, it wasn't too bad of a collision over there at home plate. But the Lightning already on the board, and that's what this team really needs. They get a runner in scoring position, nobody out, and just like that, they pick up a run. A lot of times, the Lightning will get a couple more runners on the base pass and struggle to get that first run in and to get more in. We've seen them have bases loaded, nobody out, and only get one across. Sometimes they'll get 2, but it seems like a lot of wasted opportunities that are now not being wasted, and they're taking advantage of it, like that 6 spot put up in the 6th inning of last night's game. Moises a good night last night. He grounds this one towards Melendez. This will move the runner over. And the peg to first takes Brunette off the bag, but he sticks it and gets Moises out just by a quarter of a step, but it does move Jenkins over to third. A productive first out for Marco Moises.
Yeah, and that would have been dangerous if Brunette was pulled fully off the bag, throw offline by Osmond Melendez. But good on Janesco to record out number 1, at least bring back his confidence, because he has great stuff. I mean, coming into this one, he kept opposing batters to a 173 average, 296 on base percentage, and a 229 slugging. So not only does he prevent runners from getting on base, but they don't hit him very hard either. And hopefully he can go back to that stuff after getting his first out of the game.
So Reed Snyder, the batter, 1 for 2 in last night's game. A couple of nice putouts over there at third base. 1-0 pitch, popped up, shallow right field, long run for Bronner, but it'll be the first baseman Brunette to make the grab in shallow right field. Quickly 2 down with that second run standing over there at third base. As it stands, the highest stolen base percentage by a Lightning player in any year that the Lightning have been around was held by Tanner Long in 2015. He was 13 for 13. Trey Kraft is 10 for 10. Eli Thurman now 13 for 12. So he moves up in terms of percentage. It'll be Charlie Keller, the batter, with 2 down, and a runner standing 90 feet away. almost a misplay by Brunette. That was a tough ball to grab. And if Charlie Keller reached and it went down as an error, Reed Snyder would have 7 instances where he reached the base pass via an error. The most is 8. That's an interesting note. 2-0, that gets away from Rivera. Racing home is Jenkins. He will score. It's a 2-0 ball game. Lightning lead it.
Unfortunate situation right there. Just a wild pitch gets past Rivera, and this is a very deep backstop, but I think even if it was a shorter backstop, Jenkins would have scored regardless. So at least now the pressure is off Janesco as no runners are on base.
Now base is clear, 2 down. Keller in a 3-0 count. Here's the pitch from Janesco. That's nowhere near, misses upstairs. The inning continues. Another free pass for Charlie Keller. That is his 18th on the year. The leader in walks is Ryan Jenkins with 21, but the Lightning have 7 batters with 15 or more walks on the season. That is just a ridiculous number.
You know, and despite the defensive troubles of the Suns this season, if I were Paul Janesco, I'd really still try to rely on my defense out there. He's just so good at getting weak contact right now. It's really that defense that needs to pick up their pitcher after 2 runs come across. Still plenty of ball to be played in this one. Janesco at 18 pitches, so not an ideal first inning, but still plenty of chances to recover.
Batter Cole Bolin had himself a night last night. He was 2 for 4 and had 2 RBIs in the ball game, and also caught a tremendous game from all of the pitchers for the Lightning. 6 total used in a 7-inning game. Carson Henriksen was the only hurler to go more than 1 inning. He pitched 2. And Bolin in an 0-2 count right here. Next offering. Tapped, going to be a tough play for Melendez. The underhand throw is just in time to get a speedy Cole Bolin for out number 3. But the damage has been done. The Lightning put up a 2 spot in the bottom half of the first. 2 runs on 2 hits. No errors and 1 left on base, as we head into the 2nd inning. 2-0 lead for the Lightning. Top 2 here in Leesburg. The Lightning, a good bottom half of the first. It was an RBI single from Ryan Jenkins to score Eli Thurman. He put himself in a scoring position with his 13th stolen base of the season. And then a wild pitch allowed Jenkins to come around and score. And that's where we sit right now. The batter is Shane Thomas. It'll be 4, 5, and 6 due up for the Suns. First pitch misses upstairs. And I noted that Thurman has a really good stolen base percentage. It was .923 coming into this game. Will be closer to .950 after that stolen bag. So he moves himself up the leaders board. This one's tapped out to Tanner Walker. He'll throw to first, and a quick and easy out for Walker and the Lightning. 1 down.
Yeah, good on Walker to field that. It seemed like it was may have had a chance to roll foul, but instead fields it, as he did have plenty of time to just make the toss on over to first base for the out.
Going back to that stolen base percentage, Trey Kraft 10 for 10. There's been 4 Lightning players in the franchise history that have finished with 100% in terms of stolen base percentage. Tanner Long back in 2015, Logan Chapman in 2023, Austin Simmons in 2015 as well. Wow, same year, Simmons and Long both 13 for 13. That's pretty impressive. Michael Fury, 24 for 24 back in 2022. I can't even imagine that. That must have been a sight to see. That's a lot of stolen bases because Long, 13 for 13. Logan Chapman, 10 for 10. Austin Simmons, 13 for 13. But Michael Fury, a speedster, 24 for 24. But back to this game, Eris Rivera, the batter.
Yeah, Eris Rivera has been missing from the Suns roster since June 26th. Went out for a few weeks because he had wisdom teeth removal and just rejoined the team this week. Played his first full game yesterday and automatically picked up where he left off. 2 for 3 day, 1 run scored, and 1 RBI. Also 2 walks as well. So just on-base machine in yesterday's win.
Ooh, off the glove of Ryan Jenkins. So after his RBI single, has a mishap on the defensive side, and that will be an E6 for Jenkins, and it will allow Eris Rivera to be the first runner on the base pass for Tanner Walker to have to deal with. Looking at this day in Lightning baseball, July 13th, Lightning took down Winter Park in 2024, 14-5. And that was here in Leesburg, and 2020 was the second to last time the Lightning have played on this date. Won 5-2 against Winter Park again. Actually have played the Diamond Dogs the 4 past July 13th. And the batter now is Holden Bronner, of course, 2024, then 2020, 2019, and 2018 as well. James Strom went 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs in last year's July 13th game, so just a couple of notes there. Hammered into right field, coming on Charlie Keller. That'll hang up for him. He fires to first base, but in there safely is Eris Rivera. 2 down on the line out to Keller and right. And that base hit by Ryan Jenkins moves up his on-base percentage higher than it was coming into this game. 464 was his career on-base percentage, and he's probably right in line with the leader, Tyler Nesloney, who holds the record with highest on-base percentage. That was just in 2013. Remember, Ryan Jenkins, this is his 2nd season with the Lightning, so he's got 2 seasons to work with, which actually is a little bit tougher. I would think you got to be on base for almost 5 or 50% of the time, and not just 1 year, but 2 years. And Jenkins is chasing down the leader in that, Nesloney. And after that base hit, he's probably right up there with him, maybe a couple percentage points down. So that's a stat or a record to keep an eye on for Ryan Jenkins.
And up to bat for the DeLand Suns can be Osman Melendez, 243 average on the season, 10 RBIs, 8 runs scored.
Runner goes, pitches outside, the throw down's a strike. They got him. Trey Kraft guns down Eris Rivera, and Tanner Walker faces the minimum. He works around an error at shortstop and takes care of the Suns, no problem. Another goose egg thrown up on the board for the Lightning. That'll send us to the bottom of the 2nd inning, still a 2-0 lead. Welcome back. Adrian Delgado, Vic Masley here with you in Leesburg, Florida. Great job by Trey Kraft to get Eris Rivera trying to snag second base. That's his first caught stealing of the season. And he allows for Tanner Walker to face the minimum. Got the ground out by Shane Thomas. Eris Rivera reached on an error at short. Holden Bronner lined out, and then it was the caught stealing during the at-bat of Osman Melendez to end the frame. Batter now, James Strom. Bats in the 7th hole. We've seen him batting towards the bottom of the order in the last 4 or 5 games, I would say. Coach Billings just trying to mix everything up a little bit, and he's a dangerous bottom of the hole hitter. Because if guys in front of him like Keller and Bolin and Snyder can get on, James Strom does a great job of knocking in runs on the season. Excuse me, that one is lined up the middle for a base hit. And James Strom right on cue, a leadoff single. What I was going to say, if I could find his stats, there we go. 14 RBIs for Strom, so he's having a great season in terms of knocking in runs. And he boosts his average a little bit there. That's his 15th hit of the season.
Yeah, that was just a fantastic piece of hitting by Strom right there. Just shot it straight through the middle. Paul Janesco had to duck out of the way a little bit as well, as that was just an absolute laser into center field.
Batter now, Irizarry squared to bunt, but pulled it back. He squares again. And not able to get it down. That's a foul ball, and it looked like it got a piece of Eris Rivera. And the Lightning have been hitting great when leading off the inning. There is just 2 batters that are batting below 300 in terms of reaching as a leadoff batter. James Strom, .615 percentage. He's 8 for 13 reaching when he is the leadoff batter, now 9 for 14. So it's been no problem all year for the Lightning to get the leadoff runner aboard, but in some instances has been an issue of getting him in. Here's Ari in an 0-2 hole.
I mean, this is just such a stacked lineup as well, the Leesburg Lightning, as they're contending for first place with the Sanford River Rats. And yeah, even down here with Strom hitting in the 7 hole, he's still a really, really solid batter. And if you're Paul Janesco up there, you can't let your foot up the gas a little bit.
2 very close pitches from Janesco. Does not get the call on both. Now the count even at 2-2. First place pretty much out of reach for the Lightning now, and we'll have to focus on that second seed. As it stands right now, the Lightning a half game above the Snappers, who were idle yesterday. Runner goes. The pitch, a called strike. The throw down there is in time, and they get James Strom a strike him out, throw him out, double play. And that clears the bases and makes it 2 down for Ledger Pleasant.
Yeah, that's good on Eris Rivera to kind of make up for that missed throw to second in the top of the first, or bottom of the first inning, where Thurman was able to nab the bag. So good on him. And again, he's been out for a few weeks due to wisdom teeth removal, and then he's also been playing first base primarily here in the Florida League. He is a catcher by trade in college. In all his appearances at UCF, he came in to play catcher, and that was the only position that I saw him play at before he joined the DeLand Suns this summer.
Next offering to Ledger Pleasant, straight up the chimney chute. In the infield, it's the third baseman, Centracchio. He will take it, and that is out number 3. So just like Tanner Walker last half inning, Janesco able to face the minimum and works around an early batter on the base pass. That sends us to the 3rd inning, still 2-0 Leesburg lead. Top three here in Leesburg. Janesco did a good job facing the minimum. Gave up a leadoff base hit to James Strom, but then would get a strike him out, throw him out, double play to gun down Strom, trying to take second base, and Irizarry was retired. And Ledger Pleasant had a quick pop up to the third baseman, Centracchio. And back out on the hill, Tanner Walker for his third inning. He will face 7, 8, and 9, Melendez, Brunette, and Centracchio. First pitch, ground ball out to Jenkins. Another chance, and the peg is in time, one down. Nice backhanded play by Jenkins. Makes up for that mishap last inning.
Next up, the first baseman, number 24.
Of course, Trey Kraft helped him out with a caught stealing. Got Eris Rivera trying to snag second base.
And Tanner Walker looks like he's going to be a real problem to DeLand in this one. Only 19 pitches thrown, 28 pitches thrown in this outing, and he's already through 2 and a third.
Next batter is Kevin Brunette. James Strom now 3 for 4 in terms of stolen bases. Kevin Brunette originally was supposed to be behind the plate, or he was behind the plate, or he was going to be behind the plate in the bottom half of the first inning here on July 4th, and moves over to first base in place of Judson Sionis. Centracchio took over for him, and he is at third base. But just 2 lineup changes for Juergens and just the one for the Lightning, and Orozco being replaced by Reed Snyder. Off the end of the bat, another bouncer to Reed Snyder, and right on cue, he makes out number 2.
Yeah, well, it's actually 3 lineup changes because remember Janesco was on the mound
right.
for Logan Wirt as
yeah,
well.
I meant to specify batting lineup
Gotcha.
But yeah, you're right. Yeah, Janesco is the third change for him.
It's also kind of funny knowing how the circumstances surround this game, as it is technically a game that was resumed, so those will actually go down as defensive substitutions instead of a brand new lineup.
Another quick 2 outs for Tanner Walker as he's pitching to contact. Did have 2 strikeouts in the first inning. But since that first inning, he's gotten 3 ground balls and a line out, as well as Trey Kraft helping him out with a caught stealing. One-0, broken bat ground ball. Another chance for Reed Snyder, and he is perfect. And so is Tanner Walker. A 1-2-3 frame for the right-hander sends us to the bottom of the third inning after they clean up some lumber left on the field. Still 2-0 lead for Leesburg. Bottom three, Trey Kraft leads us off in his first at-bat of the night. It was 3 ground balls to the left side induced by Tanner Walker. Ryan Jenkins had the first one, no problem, and Reed Snyder with back-to-back putouts. That's 3 for him so far tonight, and he has just been rock solid over there at third base. And if there has been a couple errors for Reed Snyder, but it hasn't been because of his throws. Big swing and a miss from Trey Kraft. If anything, those errors are just some tough hops. He has 3 errors, but, or excuse me, 4 errors, but most of those have been tough hops over there. Remember, it's the hot corner, and some of them could have gone down as a base hit. Instead, they went down as an error, but his arm is just ridiculous. He's got a really strong arm, and he's always making a great throw over to their first base. James Strom rarely has to bail him out, but if he does, James Strom is a really good glove at first base, so he usually is able to do so. Just wanted to highlight him and how good he's been at the hot corner defensively, and also has been a magnificent bat at the plate. Called strike 3 onto Trey Kraft. He is down on strikes, and that will bring up the top of the order. Eli Thurman.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
Oh, what a breaking ball by Paul Janesco right there, and that's what you're looking for him to recover, shut down, eat some innings up for his team, because the Leesburg, it seems like they have a playoff spot locked up. The DeLand Suns, on the other hand, they're competing for 4th place right now, and 4th and 5th do compete in the playing game. The Winter Park Diamond Dogs, despite the Lightning taking the series, have been playing pretty well compared to the rest of the season, and so they're slowly creeping up. I believe the Squeeze and the Suns are only 4 games ahead of the Diamond Dogs. Still some baseball to be played next week, as well as some games to be made up as well. So anything can happen as we as teams trying to make a playoff push.
The Lightning win today's game. They will be a full game above the Snappers in second place. But we've got a lot of baseball left to be played, and pretty much all the games between the Suns and the Lightning have been close ones. 7-6 victory for the Suns the last time these two met on July 1st. 3-2 walk-off in the first game between these two teams. 6-3 victory for the Lightning and a 7-5 one. So no game has been more than 3 runs for the winning team. And the Lightning 3-1 in 1-run games. Their one loss in a 1-run game was to the Suns, that game on July 1st. Other than that, they've been very sharp. They're 2-3 in 2-run games and 8-4 in 5+ run games. Payoff pitch poked into left field. That'll lay down for a base hit. Already a 2-hit night for Eli Thurman. He picks up right where he left off. Yesterday, he was 3 for 3 with 3 singles. So now 5 hits and 5 hits in 5 of his 6 last plate appearances. Did have a walk last night. He's been swinging it well. So, well, 5 hits and 5 of his last at-bats, because, of course, a walk is not an at-bat. He's just been red hot for the Lightning.
Yeah, that pitch was at the upper inside part of the strike zone. Thurman just able to pull it and let it just drop in shallow left field. So good on him. Good piece of hitting to keep the line moving.
Thurman now hitting even closer to 300. Came into this game hitting 288. Those 2 base hits will get him at least to 295, I would think. He's got 23 hits now and 75 at-bats. 19 runs scored, make that 20 after that run scored back in the first inning. We'll see if he tries to take second. I think Janesco is thinking the same thing. A couple checkovers to first. Paul Janesco in an 0-1 count to Ryan Jenkins. Gave up back-to-back base hits to these two back in the first inning. Looking to avoid the same. And Pat Thomas getting a little rowdy after now 3 checkover to first. Thurman stays put. 0-1 misses off the plate. And for Janesco and the Suns, you don't want to see him focusing too much on Thurman and losing focus of the batter at hand and Ryan Jenkins.
Yeah, exactly. You got to pitch the guy at the plate right now, and if you're too focused on that runner, your mind's going to wander elsewhere and might miss some pitches, and soon you'll have 2 runners on instead of 1.
Now a 2-1 count to Jenkins. He scored on a wild pitch. So he's got a hit, a run scored, and an RBI on his line tonight.
But I also don't blame Janesco for throwing on over to first. Thurman already has a stolen base today.
2-1, same thing as Thurman. Hit to left field and a looping line drive, and Thurman is out at second base. A great play by Gavin Thomas. Thurman didn't even creep too far off the bag as he was rounding second and was unable to get back. Oh boy.
That was, and you can maybe hear the crowd here at Pat Thomas saying that they are not happy about it, but that is just a huge mistake from Eli Thurman right there. Again, didn't want him too far off the bag. He wasn't even thinking about nabbing third base, but Gavin Thomas noticed that he creeped maybe a step or two too far and threw an absolute dart to second base to give Osman Melendez the put out.
And it was more so that Gavin Thomas was so shallow in left field, and not only shallow, but he was a little bit closer to second base than to third, and Thurman a little too far off the bag. But that really is just an unlucky play, I think, for Eli. And we've seen some base running mistakes from the Lightning. Even yesterday, Reed Snyder was back-picked at second base by the catcher, and he was thrown out. But that one just very unlucky, and a heads-up play by Gavin Thomas. So unfortunate for Leesburg. Still have Jenkins over there at first base. We'll see if he's put in motion. But it would have been 2 on with 1 down for Mueces. But now 2 down with 1 on.
That's also good on DeLand's defense to pick up their pitcher there, because the offense, it's not been too hot. They've been retired in order for 3 innings in a row now, as Walker's just making quick work of them. So maybe after picking them up, they're able to get back into the dugout a little sooner and start getting some action on the base path.
1-1 count to Mueces. Grounded out to the second baseman Melendez back in the first, but did move a runner over. That was Jenkins, who he moved over to third base.
Well, excuse me, swing right there, and barely bounced into the net and into the Suns dugout.
1-2 offering to Mueces, and that one's off the plate. A little extra on that last pitch from Janesco.
Yeah, you can hear the grunt from all the way up here. That guy's just putting everything he can into his pitches.
Deuce is wild. Pitch, it misses low, and Jenkins back to first before Rivera could throw down. It'll be a payoff pitch to Mueces. If he can reach, Reed Snyder will be up next.
Janesco already at 47 pitches through 2 2/3.
We apologize for the score bug on the stream, dealing with some technical difficulties. Try to get that center field camera set up for you guys. So we are in the bottom of the 3rd inning. 3-2 count, 2 outs to Marco Mueces. Healthy lead for Jenkins. He'll be in motion. There he goes. The pitch, a tapper up the middle. Tough play for O'Sullivan. That one gets past him. Jenkins motoring into third base. He'll be in there safely. That's 3 straight base hits for the Lightning. They've got him on the corners with 2 down for Reed Snyder.
Yeah, it was just a well-hit ball through the middle. It was bouncing. O'Sullivan unable to grab it, but then that was just straight towards the center. Bounced over the second base bag. Good on O'Brien to bring it in time, because with Jenkins on the move, it was dangerous, and any misplay, and he'd be rounding third and putting up the 3rd run for the Lightning.
And with Jenkins in motion, he was able to get to third no problem, so that helped a lot. And it looks like it's going to be Carson Walden to come out and talk with Janesco. Any reason why it wouldn't be Mike Powers, who's listed as the pitching coach?
I think Mike Powers is in the bullpen right now. I think that's just where he generally sits. But Carson Walden is also a former DeLand Sun, played a few years ago.
Yeah, it looks
for
very
the
young.
team. Yeah, so he's very familiar with the team and the staff. So maybe just a guy who's just in their shoes just a few years ago, coming out to talk to Janesco. I know Walden also has a very good relationship with the players.
And get this, Reed Snyder is hitting .750. That's 3 for 4 with a runner at third and 2 out. And he's got Ryan Jenkins over there at third and looking to bring him in. So great stats for him with a runner at third and 2 outs. He's also 7 for 22. That's a .318 average with 2 outs. And with a runner in scoring position, Reed Snyder .357. He's 10 for 28. He's tied with Charlie Keller for the most hits with runners in scoring position, and the Lightning would love another one right here. So every situational stat is in favor of Reed Snyder right here, right now. But you can only lean on stats too much before you have to play the game at hand.
And this is such an important situation for Janesko right here. Runners at the corners, 2 outs. He needs to record this 3rd out because if another base runner gets on, this Lightning squad does so well at hitting with runners on, and it could blow this game wide open. It's still close. Lightning only lead 2-0 right now, but it's early, and if we know the Lightning, they just don't know how to keep their foot off the gas.
Snyder already in an 0-2 hole. So we'll see if he can choke up and find some green grass. A lot of room up the middle. Moises takes second base. Janesko did a good job of not balking, but there was nothing he could do. And it's funny, I mentioned that there's a lot of green grass up the middle, Adrian. Right as I said that, Moises took off. He realized Melendez and O'Sullivan were nowhere near. He took a big secondary lead and was able to make it. And now Coach Billings going to have a talk with the field umpire to ask if that was a balk. I had said it was a good job by Janesko not balking, but those are the type of plays, Adrian, where you run yourself into the issue. And Coach Billings pretty fired up. He wants that balk call. From here is a little tough to see. Remember, it's got to be, it could be any form of a small twitch from Janesko. From up here, it looked like he was able to get his back foot off the rubber. But remember, it's so hard to see it. Coach Billings, of course, doesn't have a net in front of him and is, I would say, about 20 yards closer than we are. So he's got a better view of it.
But regardless,
0-2, swung on and missed by Reed Snyder. And that will take care of the Lightning here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. They strand 2 runners in scoring position. It's still a 2-0 lead as we head into the 4th. Top of the fourth inning, Tanner Walker out there for his fourth inning. And now with some play-by-play through the middle innings, it's Adrian Delgado.
Yeah, Tanner Walker's just been absolutely phenomenal today, facing the minimum in all 3 innings he's pitched. And he's also been super efficient today in this one, so we'll see if the Suns have anything for him. Suns have only had 1 base runner on, and that was Aris Rivera in the second, but that was due to a E6. But besides that, Suns have yet to work a walk or a hit against Walker. First pitch, laid down for a bunt, and it's going to be fielded. Throw on over to first will not be in time as the leadoff man, Connor O'Sullivan, is safe. That was Reed Snyder, who has been playing phenomenal today at third base, but the slow roller and the throw on over to first just not enough to get the leadoff man out.
And that will be a base hit. Tough play for Reed Snyder to make. I know that he was trying to diagnose that baseball and whether or not it would go foul or not. It looked like it was going to stay true and stay fair. Of course, it got about halfway down the line, so maybe it goes foul, but maybe it stays fair, and he at least attempted to make the throw. And a strong throw, just not on line.
So the Suns lineup flips over, and that's Michael O'Brien laying down a bunt. Throw on over to first base will be in time, so that successfully moves O'Sullivan over to second base, but almost 2 successful bunts back-to-back to put runners on. So 1 out, and the Suns have something cooking with a runner in scoring position.
Yep, first runner in scoring position for DeLand in tonight's game. Aris Rivera tried to do so, but was caught stealing back in the second inning. And could see Tanner Walker flinch a little bit before he made the throw to first, just because someone, I believe in the dugout, was trying to tell him to go to second, but you don't ever know if you're going to get that out, and it's good to go with the for sure out at first base.
Yeah, so here's Gavin Thomas up to bat now. He swings, and it's going to make contact, so that'll be a foul tip against him for strike number 1. Thomas had 2 home runs in his last visit to Pat Thomas Stadium. Suns would like to see him do that again, but he's also been struggling. Had 4 strikeouts in the game against Winter Garden on Thursday. Next pitch is in there for strike number 2. Oh, excuse me, that actually will be a ball, so it'll be a 1-1 count on Gavin Thomas.
I mentioned this before, but Tanner Walker has been really good with runners on the base pass. He allowed just 5 hits and 28 at-bats.
And this is a hard hit ball by Gavin Thomas. It's going back, but it's fielded by Eli Thurman in center field. Thomas got under it, just not enough juice behind it, and as he hit it towards straightaway center, just no chance of getting out there. Vic, how far is that center field wall out there?
375. So you see the left center, right center. You could see those numbers. That's 365 to left and right center. So there is no official signage out there, but we, are almost positive that it's about 10 feet longer from left and right center to dead center. So yeah, 375 to dead center and 365 to left and right center.
So 2 outs on the fly out. O'Sullivan moved on over to third base. That makes way for Eli Tidwell. Tidwell struck out last time he was up, and first pitch to him is inside for strike number 1.
And first time that Tanner Walker is facing more than 3 batters in an inning. Well, shouldn't say that because he was facing Melendez and then he got the caught stealing.
Oh, and a big cut by Tidwell, just trying to score O'Sullivan, but instead swings and misses, and he's now behind to Walker, 0-2. The 0-2 pitch to Tidwell. Walker delivers. Swung on, and it's popped high. Irizarry moves on over, and he's going to make the diving catch. Actually, never mind, he does not make it. Eli Tidwell has a double. Last time he was at Pat Thomas Stadium, he bounced one over the wall, and here he is with another extra base hit.
Yeah, Julian Irizarry pretty far off the line in left field, and there was just no chance that he was really going to get over there, and he almost did. But he's one of the quickest on the team, so if he can't get there, nobody can. And he got some leather on it.
That ball was so far out and down the line, too. It's a little difficult to see from here. And when a diving play, you always kind of wish for a guy to make such a spectacular play like that. But, first pitch to Shane Thomas is inside for ball number 1. So the Suns are finally on the board. down by 1 and prime opportunity with another runner in scoring position to tie it all up. Shane Thomas grounded out last time he was up.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate for Tanner Walker. Not the hardest hit ball and got a pop-up, but it was placed perfectly, just in fair territory.
Off-speed pitch floats in there for a strike. Yeah, Tanner Walker. He was in the driver's seat for the first 3 innings, faced the minimum in the first, second, and third. Gave up the leadoff single to Connor O'Sullivan, retired the next 2 batters, and then that lucky hit by Eli Tidwell scored the run. Next pitch is in there for strike number 2, so he's able to bounce back against Shane Thomas. 1-2 count on him, and opportunity for him to get out of this one with only 1 run across. One-two count, Shane Thomas at the dish. That's Eli Tidwell at second base. Delivery is taken outside for ball number 2. Deuces are wild on the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Favorable righty on lefty matchup for Thomas, the batter here. Walker delivers. Ooh. Looked like a sinker right there.
And lefties are hitting better against Tanner Walker. They've got a .316 average.
That ball had good speed and good last-minute break. Unfortunately, that break just crept it out of the zone, so it'll be a full count. Tidwell will be on the move with 2 outs. Here's the payoff pitch, and Shane Thomas is going to swing over that one. He is upset because he knew that he shouldn't have swung at it, but that is a strikeout for Walker. He gets out of this one, but the Suns do score 1 in this one, so it's 2-1 as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Welcome back. Suns were able to score in the top of the frame, but it is now the Lightning's turn to bat. Paul Janesco still on the mound and leading things off. It's going to be Charlie Keller. Keller, first pitch swing, chops on over to Janesco, flip on over to first base for out number 1.
And a great job by Tanner Walker to mitigate the damage and work around some traffic on the base pass. And just unlucky, really. It was a really good bunt single that started the inning by Connor O'Sullivan. He had 1 play with the sac bunt from O'Brien that was to first. And it was not the hardest hit ball from Eli Tidwell. And he just placed it perfectly right inside the foul line. And that was able to score the lone run for the Suns. But then Tanner Walker able to get the strikeout to end the inning.
So the pitch to the next batter, Bullen, is inside and will miss for ball number 1. But Vic, also the MLB draft is now live right now, so it'll be an interesting few days to see, as it's I believe, a 3-day endeavor, and a lot of these guys playing in the Florida League are looking to get drafted. Oh, as this ball is hit well, high and deep to right center field. Does it have a chance? And it does not, as Michael O'Brien is able to make a jumping catch. But wow, Bullen with a hard hit ball to right center. It looked like it had a chance, but just landed barely at the warning track for out number 2.
Great swing by Cole Bullen. If anything, I maybe just got a little bit too under it or hit it. No, definitely didn't hit it too far on a line. But yeah, I think just got a tad bit under it. But if that's 4 feet to the right, that's getting over the wall, or at least hitting the wall.
Yeah, that's a great sound off the bat too, but good on Michael O'Brien. Good route to make that ball, because if it does get down, that is at least a double for Cole Bullen. So that now brings up James Strom up to bat, and he starts off with a 2-0 count. Janesco got into himself some trouble last inning. Was able to recover with some help from his defense, especially by Gavin Thomas, who was able to take out the leadoff man, Thurman, with that throw from left field. So 2-1 count on Strom. Delivery misses outside for ball number 3.
And Strom, a good base hit in his last at-bat. Everyone's seen the ball really well. Thurman, a couple base hits. Jenkins, 2 base hits as well.
3-1, misses outside again. So that is a 2-out walk by James Strom. Prevents Janesco from recording a 1-2-3 inning. And that makes way for Julian Irizarry, who struck out in the second.
Yeah, and Janesco did face the minimum in the second inning, but remember, James Strom had that base hit to lead things off. He would be caught stealing, and Janesco would get the next 2 guys out. But this is the 4th straight inning where the Lightning have had a runner on the base pass.
Pitch to Irizarry, misses outside again. And they're going to call a balk on him, so Strom will take second base. And Coach Cameron Jurgens is coming out looking for an answer. We saw last inning Richie Billings was asking for a balk when his runner was on third base, didn't get the call, and now it's Coach Cameron Jurgens' turn to ask for an answer, as the Lightning are given a balk. Having a quick conversation with the field umpire.
I'm not really sure. It's so hard to tell on the stream sometimes, and even hard to tell up here for us in person. I'm guessing it was a flinch. It was after he came set, so had some movement after he came set. Remember, you got to be really still. Once you come set, you can't turn your shoulder to look at the runner. You really have to just turn your head and look at him through the corner of your eye. So maybe he had a little flinch there. Not sure exactly.
Here's the delivery, and this is weak contact. Is it enough? And Gavin Thomas is able to run in and record out number 3. So the Leesburg Lightning put a runner on second base thanks to the 2-out walk by Strom and the balk, but Gavin Thomas quickly records out number 3. So still 2-1 Lightning, so we head to the top of the 5th inning. Welcome back to the broadcast. It's still Walker on the mound for the Leesburg Lightning for his 5th inning of work. It's been great today. He ran into some trouble last inning. Suns were able to put one across, but that was also thanks to some lucky hitting. Yeah, some small ball and some lucky hitting by them as well.
Yeah, and it's tough. I don't want to call Eli Tidwell's double lucky, but it wasn't the hardest hit ball from him, and good job by Tanner Walker to induce a fly ball. But it was just way out of reach for Irizarry, who's always pretty far off the line over there in left field.
Yeah, you did word it right. It was still a solid piece of hitting, but for it to land so close to the foul line as well, it was just it was
lucky
very
placement at least.
Very difficult for Irizarry because, I mean, that's the game of baseball. It's that you can hit a ball so well, but you can hit it right towards someone. That is just a line out, but also you have a weak flare in for a single.
Yeah, it's a game of inches, Adrian. It really is. But Tanner Walker able to just surrender that one run and was able to get a strikeout of Shane Thomas, and would love to get him through 5 innings.
So leading things off for the DeLand Suns is going to be Eris Rivera. Rivera was the first Suns base runner to reach today, reached off an E6, and has an 0-2 count on him. Delivery by Walker, and he swings on this one, shoots it through the right side of the infield for a leadoff single.
Yeah, and before the inning started, it looked like there was at least one arm getting stretched out in the bullpen. So Tanner Walker probably has a shorter leash after that leadoff base hit from Eris Rivera. But now would be a great time to get a ground ball to his infield to do some work, and we'll see what happens. But Tanner Walker would love to get through 5. We saw Berthoff do it back on Friday night, and he looked absolutely wonderful. 5 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. Tanner Walker, also a good game, just the 1 run on his line so far.
So here's Holden Bronner with a runner on. First pitch to him. Swung on and missed for strike number 1. Bronner put good wood on the ball last time he was up, but just lined out to the right fielder, Keller.
Seemed like Walker had a little extra on that last fastball. He's fired up after giving up that leadoff base hit, and that's the second leadoff batter to reach. Back-to-back innings now for the Suns.
So the 0-1-2 Bronner misses low, so it's be a 1-1 count on him. Bronner, one of the 3 Suns to hold a home run this season. Gavin Thomas has 5. Him and Judson Sionis each share 1. Pitch to him. Ball straight down the middle, taken for strike number 2. And the pick is in. The first overall pick in the MLB draft is going to be Eli Wittes, shortstop out of Fort Cobb Broxton High School in Oklahoma.
That's a little out of nowhere.
Yeah, well, there are some rumors, especially getting closer to the draft. Runner goes, Rivera. There's going to be no challenge for him this time. Last time he reached base, he was caught stealing. Jenkins nor Pleasant attempted to cover second, so no reason for Kraft to throw over in that direction.
Yeah, an early steal by Rivera. I'm surprised he didn't try to do that back in the 2nd inning, because Tanner Walker takes a long time when he comes set on the hill. And he could take advantage of that, and Rivera just did right there.
2-2. It's going to be fouled away, so we'll do it again.
I don't know about that.
Oh, never mind. What a play by Julian Irizarry. I was looking in the completely wrong direction. The ball went up, and I just went immediately to the left. Instead, ball carried and stayed in play. Great run by Irizarry to get the foul out.
Well, Adrian, it's tough because Pat Thomas has so much foul ground. I mean, way more than any other stadium I've been to, way more than a lot of big league parks do. And it's, no shame to you thinking that ball was out of play, especially off the bat of Bronner. It looked like it was going to head to the seats.
Yeah, and you do look here as first pitch to Melendez is in there for strike number 1. Yeah, especially by the bag as well. Once you get to the outfield, it kind of slims down a little bit, but there's so much free space.
Right. But even when it slims down a little bit, it's still a lot more than professional stadiums and other stadiums in this Florida League.
Oh, 100%. I know the bullpens are off the field technically. A lot of most fields here in the Florida League have the bullpens on the field, but you can still make the argument that you can fit a bullpen on both sides down the line.
Oh, 100%. They could have 3 mounds there. They could have 3 more pitchers warming up, a total of 5 if they extended it, I think.
Rivera's still on second base. Here's Osman Melendez, the 1-1. Breaking ball hits the lower part of the strike zone for strike number 2.
The pitchers in the bullpen warming up for the Lightning is righty Blake Tipmore and lefty Gunnar Plante.
The 1-2 pitch to Melendez just misses outside, so it'll be a 2-2 count on him.
Did not miss by much. Really good pitch by Tanner Walker, and as a lot of coaches would say, including catchers, that's a good miss.
It's a good frame job by Trey Kraft as well, but just unfortunately didn't get the call. 2-2 pitch to Melendez, runner on second, 1 out. Swung on, chopped straight towards Ryan Jenkins. He'll throw on over to first base for out number 2.
And that's just as good as a strikeout. Keeps the runner and Eris Rivera over there at second base. And another put out. And Tanner Walker really trusting his defense. He does have 3 strikeouts in this ball game, but the rest are all by virtue of the defense that has looked very sharp. A couple fly balls, but mostly everything on the ground.
So here's Kevin Brunette up to bat. Walker is only at 61 pitches right now, very efficient, especially as he's about to complete his 5th inning of work. Yeah, first pitch, that was just a nasty breaking ball to Kevin Brunette right there.
Tanner Walker just checking off all the boxes. Has really good fastball command. He's throwing his off speed for strikes and is just able to pinpoint anywhere whether it's outside corners or inside corners, up and down as well.
So 0-1 pitch is high and outside for ball number 1. This is only the 2nd time the Suns' order is going through, and still at the 8 hitter with 2 outs here in the 5th.
And speaking of second time, if Tanner Walker can get this last out, he'd be through 5 innings. It'd be the 2nd time a Lightning pitcher has gone through 5 this summer.
1-1. The ball just misses outside, so it's to be a 2-1 count on Kevin Brunette.
Probably the 4th or 5th time I've mentioned it, but Bertoft was the first Lightning pitcher to get through 5 frames, and he did a marvelous job, and Tanner Walker a chance to do that right here.
I mean, it's so beneficial when a pitcher can go that deep, especially through this last stretch of the season where we're really trying to squeeze in games before the playoffs. Because you don't want to burn your bullpen, and guys are getting shut down. They're transferring, or they're saying after the All-Star break, so some guys are like, you know what, I've played enough ball, I've learned what I could this summer. So really looking for guys to eat up innings down the stretch. But it's 3-1 on Kevin Brunette. Favorable hitters count for him. Rivera's still at second. Ball misses high, so it'll be ball 4. Brunette's going to stroll on over to first base. So 2 runners are on, 2 outs. Makes way for Cates and Tracchio, who grounded out last time.
Oh, man. Coach Billings coming out. Might be it for Tanner Walker. He's looking into the bullpen right now, and with 2 down, you'd love to see Tanner Walker be able to get through this 5th inning, but you also might be thinking that he's running out of gas a little bit. And with a 1-run ball game, Coach Billings wants to play it safe. This is a crucial game. I mean, all these games later in the season are pretty pivotal for the Lightning, and hasn't called on the bullpen just yet. We've seen him eat up some time for his pitchers to get ready, and then we'll call on the bullpen, but this might just be a conversation with Tanner Walker. And that last at-bat, Adrian, it looked like he was overthrowing his fastball a little bit, and then that last pitch, the ball 4, seemed like he was trying to pinpoint it and really throw it, really throw it for a strike. And what I mean by that is a lot of pitchers will be like, don't aim, just throw. And it seemed like he was trying to aim that last pitch on the upper part of the zone, and it didn't really work out for him. But he's done a great job of doing the opposite of that, not aiming and just letting it loose. And that's what all you can ask from a pitcher is, just don't try to aim it. Don't try to be perfect. Just try to hit corners, hit spots, trust your catcher, and trust your defense, put it in place. So Coach Billings is going to head back to the dugout, and hopefully whatever he said to Tanner Walker will work. Yesterday, when James Hill had given up that 1 run, that sacrifice fly to the Diamond Dogs, Coach Billings came out, talked to James Hill, who still needed to get, I believe, 2 or 3 outs. I don't have the play-by-play here right in front of me, but James Hill still was in a jam with 2 on, and I think no one out or 1 out, and whatever Coach Billings said to him worked. And I talked to him after the game. He said, hey, I just need you to throw strikes. That's it. Bottom line. That's exactly what James Hill did.
Here's Kate Centracchio up to bat. Grounded out last time, and he shoots the first pitch he sees foul.
I think that Coach Billings is saying some of the same things he said to James Hill yesterday and just telling Tanner Walker, hey, fill up the zone. Don't try to overthrow. I know that this is probably going to be your last inning, but if emptying out the tank means that you're overthrowing, then maybe scale it back a little bit.
0-1. Swung on. Centracchio's going to make contact on this one, but doesn't have enough to reach the outfield as Ryan Jenkins just brings that in for out number 3. So, despite putting 2 runners on, Suns unable to do anything with it. Still 2-1 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Welcome back to the broadcast. It's still Paul Janesco on the mound. Suns unable to do with a little rally they had in the top of the 5th inning. And as we head to the bottom of the 5th, it'll be Ledger Pleasant leading things off for the Leesburg Lightning.
Yeah, 0 for 1 with a fly out to the third baseman back in the 2nd inning.
Oh, fouls this one off himself, so he's going to take a little lap around the batter's boxes.
A great job by Tanner Walker, able to get out of a 2-out jam. Kevin Brunette's 2-out walk put runners at first and second, and Tanner Walker was able to get that line out to Ryan Jenkins.
And this one is swung on and missed. Nasty breaking ball, so Pleasant falls behind 0-2 early in this AB. Delivery from Janesco. Fastball misses outside.
Ledger Pleasant, one of just 2 hitters for the Lightning that is hitting under 300 when he leads off an inning. He's 3 for 13. Still pretty good. It's a small sample size.
That next pitch misses, so Pleasant able to battle back. Started off the AB 0-2, now moves up to 2-2. And pitch is in there for strike number 3. Kept Pleasant looking. And Janesco has his 4th strikeout of the game today.
Yeah, that's a good bit of strikeouts against a Lightning team that really doesn't go down that or too often at all. They've got the fewest strikeouts in the league. I'll give you that number in just a moment. Coming into this game, Lightning batters striking out a total of 168 times. The second lowest is the River Rats 189. DeLand has struck out 243 times, so almost 100 more than the Lightning bats, but already 4 here today, so hats off to Janesco, doing a really good job.
Pitch misses. Or it does not miss, actually. It did look outside,
yeah,
but
Trey Kraft didn't like that call.
It's called for a strike. One-one, swung on, missed. That breaking ball again, as Janesco now has another batter behind. 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes on Kraft. That was the 71st pitch of Janesco's outing.
And Trey Kraft hitting just over the Mendoza line, 205 average, but he scored 16 runs, which is in large part due to his 19 walks that he's drawn. And remember, folks, he's a catcher, so he doesn't play in every game for the Lightning. However, Coach Billings does like to have 2 catchers in the order. One will, of course, catch, and the other will be the extra hitters. So he's playing in most games, and he walks there right on cue. That's his 20th walk of the season. But going back to what I was saying, I would say that Trey Kraft is playing every 2 games. Yeah, that makes sense. So he'll sit 1 game, and then he'll play 2 in a row. He'll catch 1, extra hit, then sit again, and then he'll just keep continuing that. So yesterday we saw Cole Bullen as the extra hitter. He's also the extra hitter in tonight's game, so he will likely catch tomorrow. Wroblewski was in catching, and he gets the day off tonight. But, yeah, I mean, now an on-base percentage almost at 500 for Trey Kraft because of all those walks.
Ooh, and he plunks the next batter, Eli Thurman, so runners will be at first and second, only 1 away. And it seems like Janesco's leash is very short here in the 5th as there's movement in the DeLand bullpen.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this is his last batter. Does have the 1 out, so, you know, Coach Juergens and Mike Powers hoping for a ground ball here, but Ryan Jenkins isn't the best candidate for it. He's pretty speedy.
Yeah, Mike Powers is walking on over to the bullpen. There is already an arm up and warming up.
Back in the 3rd, Suns were able to get the first batter out and then allowed 3 to reach, but Janesco was able to get out of it.
It's going to be Jenkins. Jenkins takes the first pitch as it's high for ball number 1.
So a prime opportunity here. Yeah, there's 1 out, but Ryan Jenkins, a lot of room on that right side. If he can hit one off the end of the bat into right field, that would be great. Trey Kraft, a speedy catcher.
1-0. Runner goes. Throw on over to 3rd is not in time. So Trey Kraft has a stolen base. And things are interesting now as the double steal was successful. So 2 runners in scoring position, only 1 out.
Great job by Trey Kraft. You could see him inching a little bit as Janesco was, after he came set, and he took a hop, and then he went. And that was just a great steal of 3rd base. Yeah, you could see it right here. A couple shuffle steps and a really good pitch to throw down on for Eris Rivera, but not able to get the speedy Trey Kraft.
Yeah, Janesco really needs to strike out here, but also will not be the worst thing in the world if Jenkins walks here, because that at least brings up the force play at any bag to maybe turn a double play and get himself out of this.
That, you know, you make a great point, Adrian. That might be what Rivera is saying. Jenkins has a 3-0 count now. Might as well not waste any more pitches, put him on and get the force out and play, because there is 1 out. That would allow the middle infield to back up, play for a double play, but Moises is also really speedy, so it would be tough for the DeLand defense. But then again, Marco Moises does hit the ball hard, so if they get a sharp ground ball, they might get a double play, but of course we'll have to deal with Ryan Jenkins first.
So 3-0, pitch from Janesco is in there for strike number 1.
So that conversation probably more of how to get back into the count against Ryan Jenkins.
And also, real quick, what seemed like the top prospect going into this draft, Ethan Holiday, goes at the number 4 pick to the Rockies.
That's where his dad played.
Yep. 3-1 pitch misses inside, so Jenkins will walk, and the bases are now loaded for Janesco. No Coach Cameron Jurgens as of yet. And it seems like Janesco will have to pitch himself out of this one.
Yeah, I think Jurgens is going to go to the bullpen.
Yeah, so Coach Cameron Jurgens will take the long walk over to the mound, and we'll introduce you to the new arm from the bullpen when we come right back. So welcome back to the broadcast. New arm on the mound for the Suns can be Dawson Turner, and he inherits a very sticky situation as the Lightning have the bases loaded with only one out and a very dangerous hitter coming up to bat, Marco Moises. But Dawson Turner just recently joined the Suns this summer, appeared on July 10th in the game against Winter Garden, pitched a really solid 2 1/3 innings, only allowed a hit, walked 3, and struck out 4, so looking at more of that today.
And Moises 1 for 3 with the bases loaded. So we'll see how he can fare.
Good opportunity for the Lightning to tack on some insurance. First pitch to Moises is high and inside for ball number 1.
And a tough lefty-lefty matchup, but Moises is hitting pretty well against lefties, 4 for 16, good for a .250 average.
Turner is also a tower out there on the mound, 6'7", currently undecided on where he's going next year. The inside pitch is called for strikes. It'll be a 1-1 count on Moises.
A generous call.
One, swung on, and it's fouled off to the left side. So it'll be a 1-2 count on Marco Moises. Really need to strike out here, prevent any more runs from coming across. Coach Cameron Jurgens said before the game, if he can keep it close in Leesburg, they have a chance, especially in the later innings. 1-2 to Moises, swung on, chopped straight towards the pitcher. Force play at home plate, throw on over to first is in time. So that is going to be a 1-2-3 double play. Great by Dawson Turner to turn it and keep the game at 2-1. But we head to the top of the 6th inning. Leesburg Lightning still up 2-1. Welcome back to the broadcast. Looks like it's going to be a new arm on the mound for the Leesburg Lightning. Vic, tell me a little bit about him.
Yeah, that's Gunnar Plante, the long, lanky lefty, standing at 6'8" on the hill, and he has been very sharp lately for the Lightning. And he's undecided as of right now, looking for a new home. And if I were a coach, I would definitely take him. He's got a inflated ERA still because he struggled in his first couple outings, but that's a 6 ERA right now, and it's coming further and further down each game he pitches. He's 0-1, 8 appearances, 3 have been starts, 9 innings pitched, 4 hits, 6 earned runs, 14 walks has just been the struggle, and 10 strikeouts. His last time out was on July 10th against the Winter Park Diamond Dogs. Pitched just a third of an inning, gave up 2 hits, 2 runs came around to score. They were both unearned. He inherited those runners, just unfortunately couldn't get him out. But on his own inning back on July 6th, he pitched a clean frame, gave up just 1 hit by pitch, no hits, no runs, no strikeouts, no walks. So a good, I would say, last outing, because that third of an inning he had a couple runners that were inherited and was unable to get those guys out. But his third to last time out on July 1st, pitched 2 innings, gave up 1 hit, no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. So as I said before, has looked better and better in each outing he comes out on the hill.
So 2-2 on Connor O'Sullivan. That misses. There'll be a full count on the leadoff batter here, but also interesting to see how Turner and Plante face off, as they're just both skyscrapers out there on the mound. Plante being 6'8", Turner being 6'7". I mean, I feel small looking at them right here, but the 3-2 misses down low. Breaking ball didn't get it where he wanted to, so it'll be a leadoff base runner for the DeLand Suns to start things off here in the 6th.
Yeah, and that's been Plante's struggle. When you're so tall like that, you've got a long wingspan, long arms. It's just a lot of moving parts, and it's tough to get everything in one full motion. That's why, when you think of great tall pitchers, Randy Johnson's the first one to come to mind, but there is not a lot of historically great pitchers that are above 6'6", besides Randy Johnson and a couple others. But really, in terms of Hall of Fame pitchers, I can't think of many guys besides Randy Johnson that have made the Hall of Fame standing at, taller than 6'6", 6'7". It's really tough, but Plante has done better as of late, and he's a tough guy to get a barrel on. His 2 hits given up in his last appearance, only time he's given up 2 hits in an outing.
Here's Michael O'Brien, the leadoff batter, as he shows bunt for the 2nd time in a row, but pulls back just in time. This will be a 2-0 count on him.
And actually, before his last outing, in his first 8 2/3 innings pitched, he'd only given up 2 hits coming into that game.
This will be 2-0 on Michael O'Brien, excuse me. The 2-0 names batting back-to-back in this inning.
I'd like to highlight Eli Thurman, Ryan Jenkins, both reaching base for the 3rd straight time in this ballgame last inning. Jenkins moves his streak up to 6 straight games where he's reached base safely. And for Thurman, now 9 straight games reaching base safely.
So 2-1 count on O'Brien. Struck out in his first AB, but he had to come some slack as he started off with a 1-2 count. Had a sacrifice bunt in the 4th. So 0 for 2 on the day, or 0 for 1, I should say, actually.
James Strom has reached base safely in 12 straight games. He has just been on a tear. Whether it's a base hit, extra base hit, or him drawing a walk, he's always on the base pass.
2-1 from Plante, and O'Brien shows bunt. Throw on over to first base is in time, so that is 2 sacrifice bunts in a row for Michael O'Brien. Moves the leadoff man over to second base. Again, Suns with another opportunity with a runner in scoring position. It's still a tight one here. Leesburg only lead by 1.
And another great sac bunt by O'Brien does his job, almost legged it out. And an even better job by Gunnar Plante. Not the best throw, but remember, him being so tall, there's a lot of moving parts. He gets off the mound quick. He fields it cleanly. A spin move and a nice, not the best throw, but still a good throw and easy enough for James Strom to handle.
And it seems like O'Sullivan is caught in a pickle, just strayed too far from the second base bag, so they're going to be able to get him out. He was dancing and moving around there second base, and he just wandered too far. A little yell from his infield, and Plante was just going to throw on the second, caught him in a pickle for out number 2.
That's a 1-4-5 put out, and again, tremendous job by Gunnar Plante. Adrian, that's so hard to do, is to come off the bag and not balk. A lot of moving parts. You're focusing on the hitter, and at the next instance, at the corner of your eye, you see the guy at second start to kind of take off towards third base. And he steps off with that back foot cleanly, turns around, throws a strike to the second baseman, Ledger Pleasant, who fires it on to Reed Snyder, and Reed Snyder applied the tag. Just a great play all around.
Yeah, and it looked like O'Sullivan was thinking about stealing, but maybe went a little too early, realized his mistake, tried to double back, but by that time it was too late.
Yeah, I think you're right, but also if O'Sullivan keeps his head down and digs for third, Plante was originally going to throw it to second. If he does, then O'Sullivan's going to be safe at third.
Well, regardless, coulda, shoulda, woulda. Hindsight is 20/20.
Yeah.
So it is disappointing with a guy like Gavin Thomas up to bat. Thomas having a tremendous season for the DeLand Suns, 253 average, 20 RBIs, and 15 runs scored. And, of course, he leads the league in home runs with 5. But here's the next pitch to him. Swung on and missed. So that's going to be a strikeout to Gavin Thomas. And Gunnar Plante, in his first inning of work, faces the minimum with some help from his defense. So we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Leesburg Lightning still up 2-1. Welcome to the bottom of the 6th inning. Leading things off for the Leesburg Lightning is going to be Reed Snyder. It's still going to be Dawson Turner on the mound for the DeLand Suns. Turner had a good inning of work last time up. Induced the 1-2-3 double play.
Oh, wow. Jacob, the radio announcer for WQBQ.
As this one is sent towards center field. Great piece of hitting. It just missed the glove of Osman Melendez, but it was hit so hard that is a solid piece of work by Reed Snyder there.
Before I go back to what I was saying, Reed Snyder has now reached base safely in 17 straight games. Wow. And now he moves his hitting streak up to 7 games. What a great stretch he is on. He's just on an absolute tear. But what I was going to say, Jacob, who calls this game with Steve on WQBQ. We just go by first names, by the way. I wish I could give you last names.
I mean, you're besties with everyone, Vic.
Oh, no, stop. But he calls every Tuesday home game or every first home game of the week. So Monday or Tuesday, they'll call it on WQBQ on the radio. Jacob's here tonight as a fan, and he just won the raffle.
Hey, good for him.
Yeah, so.
Hey, we had some good raffle items. Of course, the main ticket was a signed autograph photo of Mark McGuire.
Oh, man. Yeah, that is a good one. There's been a Paul Skeens jersey, too.
Oh, my goodness.
I think someone didn't pick that one up, and I almost went down and stole it myself. But I'd like to keep my job up here, so I didn't.
So it's a 2-1 count to Keller. Snyder reaches his on-base streak to 17, and batting behind him is number 17.
And also to highlight Jacob again, he was an intern for the Lightning for a couple of years, 2 years, doing team ops, and has found a new passion for broadcasting and always has nice words for me. And I thought I'd return the favor here. And I wish I got to hear him on the broadcast, but of course I'm up here. He's right in front of me, so I can't really hear him that well, but I'm sure he does a fantastic job. And if radio had or if there was an opportunity to rewind on the radio, I'd love to give a listen to those guys, and I'm sure they do just as good of a job, probably even better than I do up here.
So it's going to be a 2-2 count on Charlie Keller. Keller, an all-star this year as well. And it's going to be a pickoff attempt, keeping Snyder honest over there at first base.
I'll retract that last statement. They do just as good. I don't want anyone to get the memo that they should switch over to the radio and leave the stream. But no, if you have any inkling to do so and you're in your car driving home, then yeah, definitely give WQBQ a listen for some Lightning games.
The 2-2 is in there. Great breaking ball by Dawson Turner to record the strikeout. So one away, and Bolin is up to bat. He is 0 for 2 for the day, grounded out and flew out. After Bolin, it will be Strom, and if it gets to that point, Irizarry bats after. Still Snyder at first. Here's a delivery from Turner. Swung on, and Bolin loses the bat. It hits the gate in front of the Suns dugout. The ball went to the right, bat to the left. And that is a very funky strike number one.
Looking at his gloves, they're white on the back, and it looks almost black where his palms are, and that makes me think that he's got plenty of pine tar, so I'm not really sure what the issue is, because it's completely almost bleach white on the back, and on his palms, it's like brown and black, so he's got plenty of tar.
So Bolin got his bat back, and here's the 0-1 pitch. That's going to be inside for ball number one. A few weeks ago, before Eris Rivera left for wisdom teeth removal, I was down in the Suns dugout taking photos, and I have a perfect series of pictures where one he has a bat and the other he doesn't. And with my eye looking through a camera, I didn't even notice until I saw the rest of the Suns players just ducking right next to me. Once across the board, next pitch to Bolin is in there for strike number two. 1-2 count. Turner did play for the Suns in 2024 and 2023. Appeared 14 times, I should say, in 24, and was also part of that Suns runner-up playoff squad. Throw on over to second base is not in time, so that will be a stolen bag for Reed Snyder.
That's his 7th stolen bag of the season. He is 7 for 9 now. Wait. Yes, 7 for 9 now, excuse me.
And that is the 4th stolen base by the Lightning in this one, so good job of being aggressive on the base path. Really has put pressure on the DeLand pitching staff in this one. Turner also went back to 2022 here in the Florida League, played for the Seminole County Snappers.
It was before they changed to Orlando.
Yeah.
I didn't really pick up on it that was that recent that they switched to Orlando from Seminole County.
I remember we used to have the Orlando Scorpions, and the Barracudas were also here in the Florida League.
That's a great name.
Yeah.
Barracudas. A little bit of a mouthful.
3-2-1 on the scoreboard. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Payoff pitch to Bolin is inside, so it'll be ball 4. Rivera is able to keep the ball in front of him to keep Snyder at second. So runners on first and second for the Leesburg Lightning. Still only 1 away.
So though in 2022, that was the last year for the Seminole County Snappers. In 2023, they would switch to the Orlando Snappers. And that year, they were overall 14-20, 13-18 in the regular season. So they were the last change for either name or city name. Everyone else has remained the same.
No balls, no strikes, 1 out, and Strom up to bat. Strom has reached base in every plate appearance so far this game. Had a single in the second, walked in the fourth. 1-0 count on Strom. Favorable lefty on lefty matchup for the pitcher. Pitch is in there for strike number 1.
Yep, Strom's base hit back in the second inning means that his reached base streak has improved to 12. Mentioned that earlier. Wanted to highlight that again. And starting a new hit streak now, hopefully.
1-1. Misses low and away, so it's going to be a 2-1 count on Strom. Leesburg have yet to score since the first when they brought 2 across in that inning. Have had chances with base runners and almost, every inning they've had a base runner on. Just troubles to bring them around. But Vic, you did talk about that pregame as well. So 2-1, fouled back.
Yeah, had a great opportunity last inning. Bases loaded, and Marco Moises unfortunately grounded into the 1-2-3 double play. Exactly what the Suns needed, and just killed any hope for the Lightning. Killed a lot of momentum too, and another good opportunity here. 2 on, 1 out, and got to get the job done.
This will be a 2-2 count on Strom. Really need the strikeout here, or potentially some weak contact for a double play. And it misses outside, so it'll be a full count. Might see a double steal here.
I would like to think so, but I think it's a little risky. Reed Snyder, for a taller player, has some good speed, but still not the best compared to guys like Eli Thurman and Irizarry.
Runners don't go, and next pitch is fouled back, so we'll do the 3-2 again.
And Cole Bolin is a fast catcher, but a catcher nonetheless, so they think they don't have a shot to get Reed Snyder. Maybe they try to get Cole Bolin. Just don't want another out on the base paths. And you got to have some trust in James Strom that he can move these runners over at least.
So we'll do the 3-2 again. Good battle between Turner and Strom here. Payoff pitch for the 3rd time. Swung on and missed. Good strikeout by Dawson Turner. Fastball got Strom confused and late on that swing.
Yeah, a good pitch up in the zone, and Strom unable to make contact with it. He's already been on base twice, so it's a lot to ask for him to try to come through here, even with a good situation.
And that high fastball is tempting to any batter at almost any level. You think that you can maybe send it far and deep if you're able to make contact on it, but it was way behind on that pitch. And 2 outs here. Turner has an opportunity to get out of this one. Next pitch is in there. This will be strike 1 on Irizarry. Irizarry struck out and flew out today. This is going to be his 3rd AB of the game.
Yeah, he too is also a guy that always finds himself on the base paths. I'd be shocked to see him not do so in today's ball game.
Bolin at first. Snyder at second, and this is shot through the left side of the infield. That'll get to the outfield. Gavin Thomas fields it very quickly, so he gets the hold side from Tanner Clark, the 3rd base coach. So Snyder will be at 3rd base. Bolin moves on over to second. Bases are juiced with that 2-out single by Julian Irizarry, and now that makes way for Letcher Pleasant to come up.
I was going to say there's a good bit of room on that left side with the shortstop O'Sullivan holding on the runner, and Irizarry almost took the thoughts right out of my head and lined it to the opposite field. And of course, one of the only instances where Tanner Clark will hold up the runner at 3rd base. And as Cameron Jurgens talks with his lefty, I'll talk about last night's game. We saw a base hit and Reed Snyder coming around from 3rd. Coach Clark sent Snyder, and when he was sending Snyder, Snyder touched the 3rd base bag as the left fielder had released the ball out of his hands.
Wow.
So a really risky send. Actually, excuse me, it was center field. So it was center field coming straight home.
Still a risky send
Right,
if the ball had already left the hands.
He wasn't as shallow as the left fielder Gavin Thomas was there, but still shallow enough. He fired a strike to home, but Adrian, it was cut off by the first baseman.
No.
Yeah, and I will say that the ball was losing speed, and it would have bounced off the mound, but it could have bounced on the front part of the mound and picked up a little bit of speed, and Snyder was in there safely because that ball was cut off. I actually talked with Tanner Clark about it, and he was kind of saying, yeah, I don't know about that one. He was saying that was a little risky. I didn't really get to talk in depth about it with him, but I could see by his reaction that he was a little bit hesitant after the fact and probably was lucky that that ball was cut off. But one of the few instances where they'll have to hold up the runner, and it looks like Coach Billings is going to take an offensive timeout. That'll be the first one taken by the Lightning, and it'll be the second one this game. In fact, the Suns actually accidentally had an offensive meeting when Coach Billings went to talk to Tanner Clark during I believe it was during the fourth inning when they scored that run, and I think the runner from second base jogged off the field, and once he met with whoever in the dugout or outside the dugout, that was called as an offensive timeout. So regardless of if it was planned or not, it's one offensive timeout for both teams now. Actually, one offensive visit for both teams and one mound visit for both squads for tonight's ball game. And don't usually see it, but we have seen it in the past from Coach Billings. The batter Ledger Pleasant.
And this is a favorable lefty on righty matchup for Pleasant.
He had an RBI pinch hit single in last night's ball game. That was really good to see. His first pinch hit opportunity of the season.
First pitch to Pleasant outside for ball number 1. There is action in the DeLand bullpen. Don't quite know who's warming up just yet, but that's also Steven Cherpena walking out there. 1-0 Pleasant, 0 for 2 in the day. Popped out and struck out. Delivery inside. 2-0 on Dawson Turner. Pleasant had to dodge out of the way of that one a little bit, so a little bit of a reaction from the crowd here at Pat Thomas.
And 2-0 count, got to be selective if you're Pleasant. I know there's 2 outs, got to find a way to get at least one more run in.
3-0 count.
Now I wouldn't take the bat off of my shoulders if I were him.
Yeah.
Even if it's middle, I am not giving him the green light. It's not because I don't trust Ledger Pleasant. I wouldn't give the best hitter on the team a green light right now.
So 3-0 count, bases are loaded. Just hoping for Turner to float in a strike there, prevent from walking in a run. Delivery, and it misses outside. And Snyder will just take a little jog on over to home plate, and just like that, Leesburg Lightning are up by 2 as the score is now 3-1 here in the 6th.
Not the most pleasant way to get a run in if you're the Lightning. Obviously, pun intended there, but still nonetheless, you get a run, and it's not the most exciting way to do it, but it's now a 2-run lead again and a chance to add on if you're Trey Kraft, and he walked in his last at bat, so, Turner really has to focus on throwing strikes here because Trey Kraft has an excellent and disciplined eye.
Yeah, so Pleasant gets the RBI. First pitch to Kraft is fouled back for strike number 1.
I actually really like the aggressiveness from Trey Kraft. I know that Turner has struggled, at least in the last at-bat, with his command and has walked 2 batters this inning. But you never want to see a guy like Trey Kraft, who walks so many times, always be reliant on that free pass. And right there, he's not. He wants to get a base hit here.
0-1, delivery. Misses low for ball 1.
Yeah, it was a really good miss from Turner. Did not miss by much.
And we saw that pitch get called a couple times today, so.
Yeah, from our angle, it's tough to see whether it was low or a little bit on the outside part of the plate, but somewhere around in that vicinity.
1-1. A little excuse me swing, but that goes foul. One-two count on Trey Kraft. That's Pleasant at first, Irizarry at second, Bullen at third. Pleasant has an RBI as he walked in Snyder. The 1-2 swung on, fouled off. Kraft stays alive.
Yeah, defensive swing in on the hands probably would have been a ball. Not entirely sure, but a good job nonetheless to fight it off and keep himself alive.
So we'll do the 1-2 again. Bases loaded. Kraft at the plate. Pitch misses way outside, so it'll be Deuces Wild on the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Excellent stop by Rivera. Saved a run. Cole Bullen, a speedy catcher, likely would have scored. And you got a speedy Irizarry at second and a fast Ledger Pleasant at first base. So Trey Kraft can find a gap. Might have a jailbreak on the base pass.
The DeLand bullpen has gone cold. They were warming someone up, but maybe just hoping that Turner gets out of this one. Weak contact is fouled.
Yeah, the more pitches Trey Kraft sees, the more on time he will get for both that fastball and breaking pitch from Turner. And more opportunity for him to get a mistake thrown by Turner, the lefty.
7th pitch of the AB coming right up. Still a 2-2 count on Kraft. Turner delivers. Oh, and it plunks him.
Man.
So Kraft gets an RBI, virtue of the hit by pitch, and that's going to be Cole Bullen who comes in to score. Irizarry moves on over to third base, Pleasant to second, and Kraft will take the long walk to first. As that was just a nasty sound.
Yeah, the most painful way to get a run in, but Trey Kraft, tough as nails, twice as sharp, as my mom would like to say. And him being a catcher, he's used to getting beat up a little bit. And looks like that's going to be it for Turner.
Yeah, that'll be it for Turner, and we'll introduce you to the new arm out the pen coming right up. Welcome back. New arm on the mound for the DeLand Suns. It's going to be Joey Irvin. It's been a couple weeks since we've seen him. Last time we saw him was on June 28th. Pitched some great baseball against Winter Park. Secured a save. Pitched an inning. Didn't allow a hit, a walk, and didn't strike out any, but still perfect baseball is perfect baseball. He's had a pretty solid season coming out of the pen. This is going to be his 11th appearance. 4.07 ERA, 12 strikeouts, and a save under his belt. 3-2 win-loss record. Inherits a sticky situation, just like his predecessor Turner. Turner came in a bases loaded situation as well. Was able to get out of it. Hoping Irvin can do the same thing here. Coach Cameron Jerkins goes to a guy that he can trust, as he wants to keep the score at 4-1 here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Yeah, and a tough batter to do so, or to get the out against. And Eli Thurman is 2 for 6 with the bases loaded. He's hitting .321 against right-handed pitchers. Actually struggling a little more against lefties, 4 for 20.
Oh, Rivera gets the frame job. So that's a 2-1 count on him.
Yeah, generous call on the outside part of the plate. That's a tough pitch to hit if you're Thurman.
Yeah, but Rivera framed it so well, so do have to tip your cap to the catcher.
3 balls, nowhere to put Thurman.
Yeah, 3 balls, 1 strike. Just has to punch something in. Even if you risk contact, it gives your defense a chance to throw at any bag for a force play. 3-1, swung on and missed. Good breaking ball right there. So it'll be a full count. Runners will go.
Had a lot of tail to it. Good swing by Thurman. Was most definitely going to be a strike, but runners get a head start now. See if Eli Thurman can put it in play.
So with the bases loaded, here's the payoff pitch. Runners go, and it's going to be a foul ball.
Just a little late on it. A little earlier, and he could maybe have guided it down that first base line, and that truly would have been a jailbreak on the base pass.
4-1. Lightning have scored 2 in the frame already.
This game slowed down a lot.
2 hits, pitch, and fouled off again. Seems like some fans are calling for catcher's interference. Home plate umpire says no.
I was thinking about that for a second, but I feel like Eli Thurman would make it very apparent if he thought that that was the case.
So the payoff pitch again, and that is inside for strike number 3. So Joey Irvin keeps it at 4, but not before the Leesburg Lightning do their damage. They bring across 2 in the frame, and they're now up 4-1 as we head to the top of the 7th inning. Welcome back to the broadcast. Vic Mazza will be taking over play-by-play duties for the rest of the game as the Leesburg Lightning lead 4-1.
Thank you, Adrian. Well, the game has slowed down a lot in the middle innings when you were taking over play-by-play, but only 3 total runs were scored across the 2 teams. Lightning picked up 2 in that last half inning. And that's where we stand right now. 4-1 lead with Blake Tipmore on the hill for the Lightning, and he has been lights out this season. A 1.04 ERA, 3-0 in 11 appearances, all out of the bullpen. He's got 1 save, 17 1/3 innings pitched, 9 hits given up, 2 earned runs, 8 walks, 22 strikeouts, and he has just been phenomenal. He will face Eli Tidwell first, followed by Shane Thomas and Eris Rivera. The count 1-1 now.
You know, as an outsider looking into the Leesburg Lightning as well, and looking at social media and just Florida League in general, it seems like Blake Tipmore is at the face of every time they show the Leesburg Lightning off on social media.
Yep, he has been the go-to guy out of the bullpen for Rich Billings. Excuse me, that's Shane Thomas at the plate. No, it is Eli Tidwell at the plate, number 6. Gavin Thomas made the last out in the 6th inning, striking out swinging. Pitcher was Gunnar Plante. That feels like forever ago, and I think that one got a piece of Tidwell.
Yeah, it just knocked him on the foot as the ball deflects towards the Suns dugout. So it'll be another leadoff base runner for DeLand. DeLand has had no problem getting the leadoff man on. It's bringing him around that's been an issue for them in this one.
So that will bring up now Shane Thomas.
Because you see, this is the 3rd inning in a row where the Suns have had a leadoff base runner, and of course, the only one that scored is none of them, actually, as Eris Rivera was caught stealing in the 5th.
It was Connor O'Sullivan that's the lone scorer for DeLand. So runner aboard, nobody out. First offering misses up and away. Blake Tipmore with that 1 save, usually a middle innings type of pitcher, setup man. Called strike to Thomas.
It's a big swing and miss from him. He already struck out in the 4th.
1-1's a called strike from the
That
home
was
plate
a
umpire.
nasty breaking ball. Thomas was watching it come the whole way, praying that it just floats on out of the strike zone. Instead, clips it for strike number 2.
Matthew Schaefer is our home plate umpire. Ty Wilson is our field umpire. Shane Thomas in a 1-2 hole. The pitch swung on and missed. Blake Tipmore picks up his first punch out of the night. 1 down for Eris Rivera, who is one of the only Suns that's been all over the base pass, has reached in both of his plate appearances, one on an error from Jenkins, but he was thrown out trying to steal second base back in the 2nd inning, and then a single back in the 5th. Connor O'Sullivan has also reached in both of his plate appearances. Tipmore fires, and that one is fouled out of play. Gunnar Plante gave up that leadoff walk last inning to Connor O'Sullivan. Michael O'Brien had another sacrifice bunt and moved O'Sullivan over to 2nd, and then O'Sullivan trying to take advantage of Plante's slower delivery, and he was thrown out. That was a 1-4-5. Called strike from Blake Tipmore, another good pitch, and he is ahead again, 0-2.
I mean, that breaking ball has been working for the entire Leesburg staff in this one. As the Suns just don't take the bat off their shoulders, they watch it go by, clips the zone, and gives them a free strike.
No balls, 2 strikes, 1 down. Got him. Back-to-back strikeouts, 1 swinging and 1 looking. And nothing much Rivera could do besides head back to the dugout.
Yeah,
2 down.
he knew it too. I mean, but Plante went from the breaking ball then to the fastball. Excuse me, Tipmore. Still an inning behind.
It's all right. It was a long inning.
Yeah. So Tipmore went from the breaking ball, then mixed up his pitches, went to the fastball inside, and Rivera just had no chance.
Batter now is Holden Bronner. A line out and a fly out. He's 0 for 2. It's just the third at bat for these Suns batters. And the third one might have to wait for the bottom half of the order till next inning. Titmore trying to see Osman Melendez in the 8th if he does come out for another inning. Runner goes, pitch is popped up foul. Eli Tidwell will have to return back to first base. Every game between these two teams has been close. The largest margin of victory has been 3 runs. Saw that 3-run game. We saw 2 one-run games. 3 one-run games. Because 2 were walk-offs for the Lightning, a 6-5 victory and a 3-2 victory. And then the Suns, their lone win against the Lightning, a 6-7 victory. That bounces towards Kraft and gets away from him and allows Tidwell to move up 90 feet. We've also seen a 2-run victory, 7-5 win for the Lightning. So we've really seen it all, but we haven't seen more than a 4-run margin between the two teams.
So another opportunity with a runner in scoring position, but Suns just struggling to bring those guys in.
So that'll be a wild pitch from Blake Titmore. Doesn't have many of those. It's just his second all year. 2-1. 2 bounces out to second base, and Pleasant makes the out for out number 3. Titmore works around a leadoff hit by pitch and sends us to the stretch here. Score still 4-1, Lightning lead, looking to add on when we come back. Bottom half of the 7th inning. It's me, Ryan Jenkins, to lead us off. Good job by Blake Titmore to work around that leadoff hit by pitch. Got a couple punch outs and then a ground out to end things and send the bats back up.
And back on the mound for DeLand's going to be Joey Irvin. Irvin was able to limit the damage last time up after the Lightning loaded the bases, and first they bases loaded walk and a hit by pitch brought in 2. And you never want to give away free runs, but this is a high leverage guy out there on the mound looking to keep the score where it is.
And they really need to, because the Lightning bullpen has been lights out this whole summer. They've got a lot of good arms, and I noted the first inning struggles, but also the first 3 innings have been struggles. And interesting enough, it's the 5th and 6th inning where the Lightning struggled too, but we are past that now. And the last 3 frames, Leesburg has done a great job at limiting damage. Looks like it's Riley Fitzgerald, the lefty, warming up the bullpen. Have not seen him in a good bit. Next pitch to Jenkins misses. Favorable 3-1 hitters count. 3-1 offering. That's off the plate. Ball 4, leadoff walk for the Lightning. Back-to-back innings with the leadoff batters aboard. Last inning, Reed Snyder had a leadoff single.
That is the 7th walk by the Lightning in this one. Taking very patient at-bats, and it paid off for them last time as they were able to score twice. And that leadoff walk is always dangerous in the sport of baseball.
Moises the batter. First pitch, ground ball out to third. Centracchio bobbles, collects, throws, not in time. No one's at third. They throw the ball away. Ryan Jenkins racing home. He will come around and score. And a blunder on the defensive side for the Suns leads to a 5th run coming around to score for the Lightning. 5-1 is the score.
Vic, there's no camera on me right now, but I'm in utter disbelief of what I just witnessed right now. It looked like a good recovery from Kate Centracchio. He threw on over to first base. Unfortunately, it just wasn't in time. And then Kevin Brunette just launched that ball to third base. What the problem is, no one was there to receive it. Centracchio was in the middle infield because he had to run. He was running towards the first base bag to maybe get some momentum behind that throw. And, of course, O'Sullivan is at short. Really didn't expect a throw to go in his direction. And then Kevin Brunette, I don't know what happened right there, but now Moises is at second base. Jenkins scores, and I just don't know what to tell you right now.
I just don't understand Brunette throwing the ball. There was no one to throw it to. 0-1. Oh, man, that's not good. Rivera, that last pitch caught a piece of him. I'm not even sure if Reed Snyder made contact with it. It looks like he didn't. That's why Rivera's so shaken up out there. Yeah, and unfortunate. So the training staff will have to come out there and pay him a visit. He's hunched over in pain. We'll let him have his moment. But going back to that last play, just Brunette, where was he throwing it to? I don't know. Well, first off, Centracchio had to field it and charge it, and he's charged with the error on the field. So it's a fielding error for Centracchio. And then 2 errors, Bronner on the Brunette's throw from first base. That was a throwing error. So E5 on the fielding error by Centracchio. And when he was charging in, Adrian, there was no one to cover third base because Connor O'Sullivan had to keep tabs on Ryan Jenkins, who was going to second. So Jenkins did a great job taking advantage and getting to third base. So 2 errors on that play, an E5 and an E3. And luckily, Rivera is okay. He will be able to stick it out. And
I couldn't tell you what. Maybe he was just in the heat of the moment. He thought, let me try to make the play at third. He sees the runner running, but doesn't see a throw at third. Just thinks if I throw in the general direction of third, someone will be there to receive it. I just couldn't tell you. That's the only logical explanation I have for that throw, because that was just that is such a critical mistake. And now Lightning are up 5-1.
0-2 to Reed Snyder, poked out to right field. This could find some grass, and it will, but it's foul. So still an 0-2 count to Reed Snyder. 1 for 3, a single and a run scored. He's also stolen a bag. So lead 5-1. Moises dancing around, almost took 3, and Reed Snyder is down on strikes. That'll be the first out of this 7th inning.
But this is also because the deeper we get into the ball game, I mean, I don't want to call anything before it happens, but if this is a loss for DeLand, it makes things just a little bit hairier today as well, because Sanford and Winter Garden was canceled. And, of course, Orlando and Winter Garden. Excuse me, it was Sanford and Winter Garden and Orlando and Winter Park that were playing today. Both those games were canceled. And, again, so with the Suns having an extra loss in that column, they automatically move behind the Winter Garden Squeeze, as they are both currently tied with a 10-17 record. But, again, those Winter Park Diamond Dogs, if they're able to get games in and string together some wins, 3 wins might be dangerous for Suns. It's a long shot, but also we've seen crazier in the sport of baseball.
Right, yeah, 4.5 games back with about 5 games left. It would take a miracle for the Diamond Dogs, but I think mathematically they might be out of it. That one's low and into Charlie Keller now, a 1-2 count. So I don't foresee them having a chance, especially with tonight being rained out for them. So if they do have tonight off, they would be playing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 6 in a row, maybe. So they'd maybe have 6 games if they win out and the Suns lose all of them. Muessis goes, throw down to third base is in time, and they got him. Seemed like Muessis got his foot in there. Not really too sure about that call, but remember the field umpire standing behind the pitcher's mound, so even he does not have the best view of it. But the throw, I would say, beat Muessis. I thought that he might have gotten his foot in there. But he is out, and the bases are cleared. It's 2 down. Deuce's wild count to Charlie Keller. Here's the pitch. A bouncer out to second base. Melendez fires to first, and that will end things here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. So the Suns make 2 errors on 1 play and allow Ryan Jenkins to come all the way from first and to score. And it adds a run, making it a 5-1 lead for the Lightning as we head into the 8th inning here. Into the 8th inning we go. New hurler on for the Lightning. It's Riley Fitzgerald, and we have not seen him pitch since July 1st. That was a relief outing for him. Pitched 2 innings, gave up 3 hits, 1 earned run, which was a home run, and then struck out 1 batter. Overall on the season, Fitzgerald has struggled at 6.32 ERA. He's 1-1, 8 appearances. 2 of them have been starts. 15 2/3 innings pitched. 20 hits, 11 earned runs, 9 walks, and just 6 strikeouts. So definitely pitches to contact. Won't blow you away with his velocity, but focuses on missing barrels and getting weak ground balls and weak fly balls. And that's exactly what the Lightning need here. Last time he batted for the Lightning, remember he's a hitter and a pitcher, came back against the Suns. That was on July 1st. He pinch hit for Grant Jordan. Next pitch popped up into center field, playable for Eli Thurman. He wraps it in leather for out number 1. That was Osman Melendez, excuse me. Adrian, go ahead.
Yeah, good stuff by the new guy on the mound, Fitzgerald. Had Melendez foul off a little bit and induced some not too hard contact. Easy fly out to Eli Thurman, and now it's Kevin Brunette up to bat. Maybe he can make up for that mishap that happened last inning.
First pitch swinging, popped up on the infield. Whose ball's it going to be? James Strom coming in, and he will make the grab for out number 2. A quick 2 outs for Riley Fitzgerald, exactly what he needed and exactly what the Lightning needed. Kevin Brunette is retired. The batter now will be Cade Centracchio, 0 for 2 on the night.
Next up, number 29, Cade Centracchio.
Cade Centracchio is mic'd up tonight, so look for that on the
Oh, cool.
Florida League socials, and maybe can have something a little exciting here.
First pitch he sees misses off the plate. Fitzgerald seems to get a lot of fly balls and has struggled on some of them. He's given up 5 home runs this year. 3 came back on June 16th against the Snappers. But if he can focus on getting weak pop flies and weak fly outs, it's going to be huge for the Lightning as they can have another go-to arm out of the bullpen. 2-0, missed in the dirt. Quickly 3-0 to Centracchio. First 3 innings, Lightning pitching, well, Tanner Walker faced the minimum, and then in the fourth and fifth, he faced 4 batters as Riley Fitzgerald gives up a 4-pitch walk, and then in the 6th inning, it was Gunnar Plante to face the minimum, and last inning, Blake Titmore worked around a leadoff hit by pitch, faced 4 batters, and got through a clean inning. So the walk to Centracchio will bring up Connor O'Sullivan. He's reached base safely twice, a single in the 4th, came around as the lone run to score for the DeLand Suns, and then walked back in the 6th inning. But he was put out on a 1-4-5 as he was trying to disrupt Gunnar Plante on the hill, and Plante did not take the bait. 5 straight balls from Riley Fitzgerald, who's all of a sudden struggling with his command. He finds the zone, but it's roped into right field down for a base hit.
Yeah, so some good ABs we're seeing from the Suns here with 2 outs, and I mean they have 4 outs remaining in this game as the Leesburg Lightning are up 5-1, and this is going to be Nathan Rico up to bat.
So he will pinch hit for Michael O'Brien. O'Brien had back-to-back sacrifice bunts in his last 2 at-bats.
Rico had a great day yesterday, got hitter of the night recognition as well, went 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs and a run scored. Also notched the winning run, or I should say the final run, as the Suns run ruled the Winter Garden Squeeze last night. He scored that 10th run of the game to secure the 10-2 victory.
Oh, 1 pitch to Rico, called strike. Rico, the righty, facing the lefty Fitzgerald. O'Brien is a switch hitter, so it didn't really matter either way in terms of playing matchup. Fitzgerald way ahead 0-2. The lefty delivers. Called strike 3 on the outside part of the plate. Riley Fitzgerald works around a 2-out walk and a 2-out base hit. 1 hit, no runs, no errors, 2 left as we head into the bottom of the 8th inning. Last chance for the Lightning to add some more insurance here. 5-1 lead in Leesburg. Adrian Delgado, Vic Massley here with you. Bottom of the 8th inning. Cole Bullen leads us off. Joey Irvin still on the hill. Defensive replacement, Michael O'Brien, who was pinch hit for just a moment ago by Nathan Rico. He is replaced in center field, not by Rico, but by Eli Tidwell. So Rico will move into the extra hitter role that Eli Tidwell had, and Eli Tidwell will take over for Michael O'Brien in center field. Those are the only changes for now.
And still Joey Irvin on the mound for the DeLand Suns.
Tapper over the head of Irvin. The play at first, not in time.
I mean, that ball bounced so high, you can't really blame Irvin, and it was right over his head, so it was a weird angle to play off. I don't blame him at all for relying on O'Sullivan to make the play, but good on Bullen to run it out for the single.
O'Sullivan did all he could. He was pretty deep in the hole at short, regular depth for him. And that was a perfectly placed high chopper right over the head of Irvin. Nothing he could do. And O'Sullivan, same for him. So a well-deserved infield base knock for Cole Bullen. First hit of the game. And Bullen continues his hot streak. That is 5. That is now a 5-game hit streak for Cole Bullen so far. And with that walk back in the 6th inning, he has reached base safely in 7 straight ball games now.
Now, real quick, Vic, a Florida League alum was taken with the 15th overall pick in the MLB draft. Kyson Witherspoon out of Oklahoma was drafted to the Red Sox.
What pick?
With the 15th overall pick.
15th overall.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that.
Witherspoon pitched for the Sanford River Rats in 2023. Only 18 years old when he played with them.
What was his name again?
Kyson Witherspoon.
Kyson Witherspoon, former Sanford River Rat. Wow, 15th overall. That's really good. And it's interesting, you know, we're obviously playing baseball right now. It's cool to think about which guys that are on the field right now, or they might be in the bullpen or in the dugout, could maybe get drafted in the next couple of years. 1-2 is thrown behind James Strom. Now a 2-2 count. Strom has reached base in 2 of the 3 plate appearances. He is 1 for 2, a single in the 2nd, a walk in the 4th, and a strikeout in his last at-bat back in the 6th. Has a chance to move over Bullen. 2-2 misses upstairs. Payoff pitch, misses away. Cole Bullen with a delayed steal, and he is at second standing.
I think he was just really excited that Strom walked and wanted to get to second base as quick as possible.
Oh. Yeah, I did take that into fact. But yeah, James Strom reaches, so Bullen is in there safely. It was a delayed steal at first. Obviously won't go down as a steal, but he was attempting to go whether or not James Strom walked or put it in play.
Oh.
Check swing, yes he did, says the home plate umpire. Sometimes you're so locked in on like the runner going, you don't even pay attention to what happens at the plate.
Yep.
So 2 on, nobody out. Chance for some insurance for the Lightning. Next offering, called strike. Irizarry doesn't like it. Oh, 2 on the way to Irizarry. That's too far inside. Irizarry single back in the 6th inning. Opposite field knock. Good deal of hitting for him.
Irvin had Irizarry, but missed the strike zone and kind of losing the ball a little bit.
1-2, chopper towards the middle of the field. Great flip by Melendez to get 1 on to first. Double play. Wow. What a 4-6-3 turn by the DeLand middle infield, starting with Osman Melendez, who just flipped it to O'Sullivan, who provided a good strike to get a speedy Irizarry.
That looked choreographed almost right there.
Right.
That was a defensive orchestra right there. Yeah. Osmond Melendez flipped the glove on over to Connor O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan with a cheeky little spin move, throw on over to first base for the double play.
So that does send Cole Bolin down to third base, but 2 are down. James Strom was retired, trying to head into second base, and Irizarry's pretty quick, but he hit it a little too hard and a great turn by Melendez. Awkward when you have to do it up the middle like that. Can't really set your feet or anything. You have to do everything on the run. Ledger Pleasant's the new batter. He walked in a run in the 6th inning, so an RBI for him. Pleasant's now reached safely in 5 straight games. Faces a 1-2 count from Joey Irvin. Trying to hold the Leesburg lead to just 4 runs and give his bats an opportunity to try to come back in the top of the 9th inning. Little righty deals in the dirt. Great stop by Rivera. The crowd has stuck around here at the Pat. It's not a late night like usual. Games usually start at 7 o'clock here in Leesburg. This was a 5 o'clock start because 4th of July was supposed to be at 5 o'clock. Deuce's wild pitch, and Pleasant somehow gets a piece of it.
You know, you also want to give the guys their Sunday night as well.
Oh, yeah.
Before we head into the new week,
Yeah.
Love Island finale tonight as well. So, you didn't hear what I said, did you?
No, I was taking a look at the field.
You don't have to hear that. That can be between me and the viewers.
Okay, all right. I guess I'll have to go back now.
No, I just said it's the Love Island finale tonight. You know, a lot of people
Oh.
tuning into that. So,
That show I've heard is ridiculous.
Vic, I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, here we go.
I live with 3 other guys. It's me and 3 guys in an apartment, and it started off as a joke.
Y'all are hooked, huh?
Not yeah. It's bad. It's bad, man. we
Payoff pitch swung on and missed from Ledger Pleasant. So that'll be it for the Lightning in the bottom half of the 8th. A 4-run lead will have to be enough. That sends us to the top of the 9th inning. Don't go anywhere. The Lightning trying to pick up a win, and Adrian trying to tell you more about Love Island. 5-1, Leesburg leads when we come back. Top of the 9th inning. Final chance for the Suns to get 4 runs to at least tie this game. It's a 5-1 lead, and on to close things out is TJ Sokaras, the righty, the Pitt Panther. And so far on the year, Sokaras, an inflated ERA of 6.59, 9 appearances, 1 start. He does have 2 saves, so looking to get 3 and put himself above Paniagua for the leader in saves from the Lightning. 13 2/3 of an inning pitched, 10 hits given up, 10 earned runs, 13 walks, and 15 strikeouts. He will have to go through 2, 3, and 4, starting with Gavin Thomas, then Eli Tidwell and Shane Thomas, borrowing any pinch hitters. The 0-1 pitch, he yanks a fastball. It's 1-1 now. Last time out for TJ Sokaros. I'll tell you that after this 1-1 pitch. It misses upstairs.
This is the guy you want to start your rally here for DeLand Suns, Gavin Thomas.
Hammered into left field. Irizarry ranging back at the track, and that ball is long gone.
What did I just say? If you want something to get going, you get Gavin Thomas at the plate. He's been struggling as of late, and I think that's his first hit of the game today. It is, but that is an absolute rocket. I mean, he loves Leesburg. This is his 3rd home run of the season at this stadium.
So that makes it 5-2. Luckily for the Lightning, no one was on the base pass, so it's just a solo shot. And I was going to mention TJ Sokaros' last time out. It was July 6th, and he really struggled. Got through just 2/3 of an inning, gave up 2 hits, 4 earned runs, including a double, and he walked 4 batters, struck out just 1. So he struggled in his last time out, actually struggled in his second to last time out. His lone start, he went 3 innings, gave up 5 hits, 4 earned runs, a double, triple, hit a batter, walked a batter, struck out 3. So last couple of outings have been rocky for him. But if he can limit the damage to just 1 run, that would be a great sign. 1-1 fouled away by Eli Tidwell. Sokaros is one of the hardest throwing pitchers for the Lightning. They've clocked him out at 94. That was during the first couple weeks of the season. So he can definitely bring the heat. 1-2, brought it right there. And got it right past Eli Tidwell, who swings through a fastball for out number 1.
Yeah, and that's a good recovery from him after giving off the lead-off home run. And we're going to have a pinch hitter here. It's going to be Daniel Baez up to bat. Baez has been solid in the recent going.
So Daniel Baez is going to bat for Shane Thomas.
Favorable righty-on-lefty matchup here for Baez, but as I was saying, good recovery from him. And that's where you have to thank your offense as well, as they were able to build a 4-run lead before coming to the top of the 9th. So despite that home run, still sitting comfortable, only a 3-run deficit.
Next one too far inside, 1-1 count. TJ Sokaros against lefty batters. They're hitting just .263 against him.
Baez was great in yesterday's game against Winter Garden, 1 for 3, 2 runs scored, an RBI.
Sharp ground ball out to Snyder. He has it no problem. The peg to first in time. Baez is retired, 2 down. And so far, a good recovery from TJ Sokaros. Gavin Thomas, a righty batter, and interestingly enough, righties, well, not interestingly enough, but righties are hitting 167 against him. Obviously not a favorable matchup righty against the righty TJ Sokaros, but still 263 average against him for lefty batters. That's pretty good. But Thomas taking advantage.
Yeah, and that was a great piece of hitting by Baez, too. Unfortunately, just hit it right towards Snyder. Snyder able to field that and throw it on over to first for the out.
And with 4th of July getting rained out, Leesburg really hasn't finished a game with, the sun still up. Usually with the game starting at 7 o'clock, it'll be well past sundown when the game ends. So it's just very interesting to be in the 9th inning here, and obviously the sun's still up there for at least another 30 minutes or so. 2-1, missed downstairs, I'm assuming. 3-1 count now to Eris Rivera.
Suns down to their last chance. Gavin Thomas gave him a little bit of hope with a home run.
And this is another home run. A hanging breaking ball from TJ Sokaros. And Eris Rivera got every stitch of it. 2 solo home runs in the inning. It's now a 5-3 lead for the Lightning.
Well, now things are looking a little interesting here. Again, you still have a 2-run lead, but 2 home runs in the inning. You really have to lock in here. because right behind Rivera, it's Holden Bronner. Bronner is one of the only other Suns that has a home run this season. Rivera with his first home run of the Florida League season. Gavin Thomas giving him some props, and regardless of the result here, the Suns do have to be proud of themselves that they're at least able to show some fight here in the top of the ninth.
So now just a 2-run lead for the Lightning, and a tale of almost two different pitchers that's out on the mound. Had two pitches way too enticing for Gavin Thomas and Eris Rivera, but was able to overpower Tidwell with a strikeout and got a quick ground out from Daniel Baez.
And
now ahead 0-2.
They were both shot in the same exact spot with over the left field wall.
That ball absolutely punished by Rivera. Both of them really hit hard.
I mean, yeah, it's one of the, both of those home runs, it's like the moment you hear the crack of the bat, you know that ball's gone.
Sokras misses with the 0-2 pitch. It's now 1-2. So coming into this inning, the Lightning had a 4-run lead. Now it's down to just 2. 1-2, swung on and missed. Lightning win. TJ Sokras goes upstairs with the fastball, and Bronner couldn't hold off on the high cheese. The Lightning take it 5-3, the final score. We'll be back with the totals after this. Welcome back to Pat Thomas Stadium. Good news, Lightning win it. Got a little interesting there in the top of the 9th inning. 2 solo shots from Gavin Thomas and Eris Rivera. By far the best swings for the Suns all game. But before that, it was all Lightning pitching. And it started out with Tanner Walker, who was just absolutely magnificent here tonight. 5 innings, 1-run ball, 3 hits given up, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. Plante, Tipmore, Fitzgerald all provided great innings of relief. And then Sokras finished things off. Despite giving up the 2 solo shots, struck out 2 batters and got a ground out to Reed Snyder. Adrian, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Suns, they had a good rally going in the 9th inning. It was just a little too late for that. They were down too far. They head into that inning 5-1. Good on Sokras to recover and record the necessary outs by Eris Rivera, the star that shined today, 2 for 4, and of course that big hit coming in the top of the 9th, that home run over the left field wall for his first home run of the season. But also some good stuff from Joey Irvin today. Came into a sticky situation with the bases loaded, ended up pitching 2 1/3 inning, only allowing the run to come across. That run was unearned, and he struck out 3. But DeLand Suns, I mean, we've seen this all season where they're able to get guys on, but I don't think they were able to string rallies together. That's the issue here, where they're more performing well as individuals, not as a team as of yet. Yesterday we saw a good team win, just them unable to replicate it today. But good stuff from the Leesburg Lightning. Of course, we saw them have some trouble. They had no problem putting runners on, and with a little bit of help as well, they were able to string hits together to bring them in for 5 runs.
So with the win, the Lightning improved to 17-11, or excuse me, improved to 18-11 on the season, and the Suns fall to 10-18. And more importantly, the Lightning now are a full game up over the Orlando Snappers in 2nd place, which is absolutely huge. Remember, the last 3 games, the last series is against Orlando. That's Thursday through Saturday, and if the Lightning have a 1-run or a 1-game lead going into it, that is huge going into potentially clinching that 2nd seed. So the Lightning standing alone in 2nd place by 1 game over the Orlando Snappers. A great game from Tanner Walker. Ryan Jenkins reached base in every single plate appearances. 2 walks, 2 hits, 2 runs scored, and a couple of, just 1 RBI on the night. Looking ahead to tomorrow, The Lightning will be right back here at Pat Thomas Stadium facing off against the Sanford River Rats. That's a big game at 7 p.m. The River Rats, probably a little bit rusty, have been rained out a lot, and they haven't seen playing time or consistent playing time in at least a week or so. Games here and there, but the Lightning could take advantage. They make it 3 straight after the win tonight. So once again, 7 o'clock tomorrow, Sanford comes to town in a big matchup. The Lightning looking to make it 4 straight. Final totals for tonight's ball game. For the Suns, 3 runs on 6 hits and 2 errors. And for the Lightning, 5 runs on 9 hits and 1 error. Once again, the final score, 5-3. The Lightning win it. And for my partner, Adrian Delgado, I'm Vic Masley saying so long and good night from Pat Thomas Stadium.